What's going on, people? KingRichez back again with another video, yeah? Big up to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, yeah? Make sure you have the notification bell ticked. Make sure you like this video and leave a comment underneath each and every one of my videos. This is going to be a very, very interesting discussion, yeah? And I've got a lot of people here that are going to have their views, opinions, and stuff like that, so it's going to be very entertaining. And obviously, you can see from the title, we're talking about interracial dating today. Yeah. And really, I want to pose the question, why or what the reasons may be why a lot of black guys are choosing to do interracial dating. I want to get everyone's opinion, what they may think. Obviously, everyone's from different backgrounds and has different experiences. So I think this will be a very colorful discussion, as I said. First things first, I just want everybody on the panel to introduce yourselves, you know, say your name, your age, and some fun fact about yourself. So I'm going to start right here. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Iman. I'm 33. I was born and raised in Kuwait. I come from a Sudanese background. My mom is from Turkish heritage as well. I've been in the UK for about 10 years, and yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Miriam. I'm 21. I have a podcast called Conscious Conversations. I'm a creative, born and raised in East London. And yeah, happy to be back.
Hi, everybody. It's your favorite troublemaker, Denalva. I am 29, and a fun fact is I'm the smartest person on the panel tonight. For real.
Hi, guys. My name is Mariana. I'm from Portugal, and I'm 27, and it's the first time I'm in a podcast, so that's my interesting fact.
Oh, welcome.
Hey guys, I'm Nicole. I am 24 and I am on my 3rd degree. So sorry, Denalva, I don't think you're the smartest here.
Shots fired already.
Bang, bang.
I go by Beard Gang. I'm 28. Fun fact about me is that I've been connecting beards since 2019.
Nice. My name's Mike McClarkin. I'm 31 and I'm from New York.
Fun fact?
Fun fact. I've been in 30 countries.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Competition.
Yeah. Wait. What about you?
I'm the host of the show. That's the fun fact, and that's the only fact that everyone needs to know. My name's KingRichez. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah,
And he's
as I
of
was
age.
gonna say before I was interrupted rudely.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about interracial dating. I think everybody may have done it, or may know someone close to them that's done it. But I seem to find, especially on social media, there seems to be a lot of pushback. A lot of people seem to be upset when they see interracial couples, and in particular, there seems to be a lot of pushback when black guys do it, in my opinion. Now, other people may see it different, and I'm open to hearing their opinions about that. But I want to go around the room, and I want to ask the question of why do you think that black guys may prefer to do interracial dating over dating within their own community? Because obviously in the UK, and especially from what I've seen in the USA living there, a lot of black guys are choosing to do interracial dating. So let me go around the room, starting with Iman, and I want to get your take on it. What do you think about black guys and interracial dating? Do you think it's a thing? Do you think it's on the rise? And what do you think the causes may be?
I think it could be mainly a thing because we live in like diverse areas. Like we live in big cities. Like it's a melting pot of different cultures. So yeah, you're more prone to meet people from other sides of the world that you wouldn't likely meet. But I guess I feel like, in my opinion, love is love. If love is in the equation, then there should be an issue about race or country or anything of the sort. That's my opinion on it.
Okay, what do you think may be some reasons why you see a lot of black guys, choosing to date out, or do you believe that it doesn't really happen that much?
I think it does happen. Yeah, I do think it happens, but I also see a lot of black guys being in relationships with black women, and I see that more than I do see interracial relationships. to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. I think, like, on the whole, I would agree that most black guys usually date black women or with black women. I think that happens across the board. But, you know, whenever the talk of interracial dating does come up, there's a lot of talk of why it's happening. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's really what I want to dive into today. Do you get what I'm saying? But, you know, obviously, if that's your opinion, that's cool. I'm going to move on. And we'll go back
we'll
and
come
round.
back.
We'll come back to you. So what do you think about it?
I think that it's not as big as we think it is. I think social media is isolating a certain amount of minorities and pushing that out there a lot more. I think a lot of black men actually prefer or choose to be with another black woman. I think especially when you're in like an inner city, like you said, you're gonna meet loads of different people, and you know, we can all come from different backgrounds and cultures and whatever else it may be, but you'll find all the similarities that you can come across from a different culture that you might have and embedded within your household or within your culture that might open up that dating spectrum. Do you understand? But I don't really think it's much of a thing as much as it's made out to be. I think a lot of things are put out there on social media, and it could be a small percentage, whatever, and all of a sudden, because it's all over social media, we think it's a big thing that's happening all the time. I think a lot of people, especially from like Afro-Caribbean heritage, would actually choose to, and just naturally choose to stay within their own bloodline and have that be what they want to pass down.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure because I feel like, and I could be biased, I think that of all ethnic groups, like, black people seem to be the most willing to branch out. But I think most, if not all other ethnic groups are kind of wary of, like, coupling up with black people, especially non-black women, because like non-black women tend to be, you know, ostracized from their community, you know, maybe like shamed if they're, she dates black guys, stuff like that. So I think there's that element that comes into it as well. But no, I'm gonna take your take on it and I'm gonna move on.
So I'd say I can think of three main reasons. I think one of them is the forbidden fruit. You know, like, I've got a lot of American friends that actually have got baby mothers here in the UK, because in the US, a black man with a white woman is almost like, forbidden. So when they came here, they ran riot, because obviously it's the first time they see white women that are also interested in them. So I think that's one of them. I think the second reason might also be the fact that, I mean, black culture is so big now, and the beauty standards in men, actually a lot of them are around this, you know, big, strong black man, not black man, big, strong man. Obviously, a lot of black men have got that physique. There's a reputation as well, obviously. And then, what was my last reason? Yeah, it's that. Forbidden fruit. Oh, another one. This is a joke that actually Angolans talk about a lot, which is the advancement of race. So mixing you're going from darker to lighter. That's also something that happens. It's sad, but it's a reality.
So you're basically saying colorism?
Yeah, colorism. Okay. You know, I think that this mixing, like, in the context that you're talking about, I think it's all to do with race relations more than, it's love and, you know, gentrification of areas where people start mixing.
Okay, so because obviously, like, really and truly, this was pertaining to black guys doing this, yeah?
Yeah, and that's
so those three, repeat those three again?
Forbidden fruit. So obviously,
just repeat the title. Yeah,
forbidden fruit, advancement of race. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
And then the third one, what was the third one? Oh, then the reputation. So obviously, the aesthetic kind of stereotype of especially a black man, strong, powerful, masculine.
So that's why non-black women are gravitating to black men.
Yes.
The question was pertaining to, why do you think black men are choosing interracial dating? That's what the question was.
Because if white girls like you and you like girls, if you got bare white girls after you as a black man, you're likely to bite the bullet, you know? If as a black man, you're traditionally not even meant to be mixing with white people because you're meant to be less than or whatever, when you have the opportunity to take that forbidden fruit, you will do. Temptation. And then the advancement of races, obviously, colorism is a massive deal. I mean, in my family, because I date black men. So in my family, sometimes my aunties take the piss and say, "Oh, so look at you, light-skinned girls going for darker men. Your dad would turn in his grave," as a joke. But that's also something that happens. You're meant to kind of like start lightening your bloodline. That's how it goes. It's quite bush, but it happens.
Well, that's interesting. We'll have to come back to that. But anyway, next one. What do you think about this?
I think like London is a very like multicultural city, and like there's so many options. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna date this race. Like they have so many options they can try. Like, we are in 21st century, and I'm not from here. Where I'm from in Portugal is also like there's a lot of black people. So it's like there's not like black people only dating black people. It's a mix of like relationships. So I feel like it's because we are in like multicultural cities. Because
So
if
it's
you were
like
in
the access to everybody.
Yeah,
So it's
they have
just
a lot
like
of choice.
whoever you like, whoever likes you, you just go that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think London is is a very, very multicultural city, more than where I'm from. And there's like so many ethnicities, like so many cultures, like you have access and choices. So yeah, you just try different things, I guess.
Okay. All right. That's fair. What do you think about it?
I do agree that there's loads of different races and people want to try stuff out and whatever. But I do also think there's definitely a culture where black women are the least desired women in every race. The darker that you are as a black woman, the more undesired that you are. And I do think I don't want you guys to come for me, some black men choose lighter skinned women or white women or whoever because they think it's easier. And there is this thing about black women being loud and argumentative and the rest of it. And I do think some black men are just like, I don't want that. I just want the easier life, a quiet, like white girl or whoever. And that's why they don't go with black girls.
That's facts as well.
Do you know what?
Sorry.
What you've said really is hitting the button. Do you get what I'm saying? Because like I respect everything you lot have said, but I think you're really going at the real core of like most of our conversations that we have off of camera. Do you get what I'm saying? In our personal lives, like obviously, I'm a guy that my preference is good looking women. I don't say this, that, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Most of the girls I've been involved with have been black, but I've been involved with a lot of non-black women as well. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, when I talk to guys, because like currently I'm outside of London. I'm in London a lot, like regularly, and I'm from London. Yeah. But, living outside and then obviously talking to black guys outside there that they went school there, they were born there. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Their whole outlook is completely different. And so when I kind of pick their brain about their dating preferences and choices, they're like, oh, kind of the stuff that you said, like, the attitude, they got it. That's the number one thing. Too much attitude, I don't want to deal with it. Do you get what I'm saying? So we're definitely going to come back to the things that you said. I want to hear what the guys have got to say. So first thing, I want to ask you guys, both of you, have you done interracial dating? Have you done it prolifically? And what do you think the reasons why you see a lot of black guys going outside the race?
I've dated girls from all kinds of backgrounds. My current girlfriend right now, she's white. But again, I don't really know about what other people think, but for myself, again, it's like I just go off who you are. If you're good looking, do you know what I mean? I don't really pin it down to an individual specific race. But again, I think for a lot of guys out there, it's just about accessibility. If you're living out in Colchester and you're the only black guy in the area, all you know is white girls. So you're just gonna go for white girls. You're not gonna know anything else. But again, same if a guy's born and bred in Lewisham, the likelihood is he's gonna just be with black girls. So I think it's about access.
Okay. So have you ever heard any black guy say anything that you thought, that's a mad excuse why you're saying you don't date black girls? Because I've heard some mad stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold really back, bro. I've heard some mad stuff, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? So what do you think?
Nah, man, it's echo chambers. I don't have anyone in my circles that would talk down against black women like that. So
okay.
All right.
That's good then. All right,
Proper.
cool. Yeah. All right, Mike, back there. What do you think about it?
Yeah, so my take. So I've interracially dated pretty much for the past 6 years. I've dated primarily East Asian and Indian women, and it's been quite difficult dating Black women. I think so. I'm a doctor and an engineer, and I think the women from those cultures, they really value people who are doctors and engineers. Like their families love it, right? I can go to their family and they're like, "You went to Harvard, you went to Yale, you went to UPenn, like Ivy League." They fall in love. But I'm not the guy that I like Pokemon, I like anime and manga, and I like to drink actually, and have fun. But outside, I'm not the partier. I'm not in the club. I'm not on Instagram. And I'm pretty sure I'm 5'7". So I think many Black women, they're not into that. However, Nigerian women and Ghanaian women, a lot of them are doctors. And when I date Black women, it's always women from those groups. And there are a lot of doctors in their family. So, but I'm too serious. I don't like to have fun, but I like to have fun. I've traveled all over the world, but many of the women, they think that just because of what I do, that I'm too serious or too boring. So.
Oh, that's interesting, man. So would you say that in your experience, like Black women, whether it be in America or even Black women over here, there's a certain like stereotype of guy that they typically go for, and that you feel like you don't fall into that category? Like what kind of stereotypes of men do you feel like Black women that you potentially would date, they usually pick over you? What do you think? What types do you think that is?
I would think men like you, right?
Oh, matting.
Like, I mean, you're a big guy. Like your arms are crazy. You have a swag to you.
Hey, listen, stop.
But like I'm from the streets. I'm from the hood too. But my fit is different, right? So I think I just, I'm the nerdy guy. I have glasses. And that's the label that I get, even though, I have the other side of me, right? Like I love Future and like all that crazy stuff too. But I kind of get labeled as the, just a different guy. So I mean, that's been my experience. Again, not all the time. There are many Black women that I've dated and, they've loved me and I had a good time. But I think, most of the time I, end up matching with women that aren't Black.
Okay, all right. So in your experience, like, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, a lot of black guys that have the same kind of mindset to the whole dating, like you've experienced. Did they say the exact same things, or is there any kind of specific like reasons why they say it? Because as I said, I know Black guys that they've said, I exclusively only date white girls, or I exclusively only date outside my race, and they'll, again, like what I said to the young lady there, I was like, they would say attitude. That's the first thing they would always say. So is that the same for you, that like the people you've come across?
Yeah, I think the attitude is a big thing. I think the feminism is a big thing. Like, I'm pretty conservative. I'm a libertarian. So it's, many Black women aren't on that wavelength, right? So, I think that's a big issue. And then it's about the love, right? You see the different guys like Childish Gambino, right? He dates Asian women. He's getting a lot of love. And so when you get more love from other girls, that starts to change your preferences. So I think you can get into that. I only date white girls. I only date girls from certain countries or whatever. Now, but I love Black women. I think they are my preference, but it's harder to, it's harder to date them, especially like if you're under 6 foot. I mean, that's a big deal, being over 6 foot. But the, girls from other races, they're like, does he make 3,000 pounds a year? Did he go to Cambridge, Oxford? And if you did that, it's a wrap. They're going to take you. But, I don't think Black women generally value the education and that different kind of clout, right? And so I think, even, and we'll get into this too, but even the conversation around OnlyFans. I'm a military officer too, a physician and an engineer, and I can't bring a girl on my arm to the Harvard Club if she has an OnlyFans. That's just unacceptable, So I do think there's a certain type of guy that has the money, has the status, would love to be with a woman, but they just, it's.
I will say this, bro. Like, even though I've been talking about guys that said I only exclusively date outside my race, yeah, I think the thing that a lot of black women need to understand, because this isn't a show about like talking bad. This is just being real and honest. Like, yeah, everybody's gonna say their part, yeah. I need you lot to understand that a lot of black guys, even ones that are dating out, say exactly what this brother said, that black women are his preference or are their preference. But the problem is there's a disconnect. Like, do you get what I'm saying? There's a disconnect, whether it be the cause of feminism, whether it be the cause of, social engineering from the music, movies, stripper culture, whatever, fathers not being in the homes, etc., etc. And it's caused a rift, and, it's caused a lot of frustration. And then a lot of times that frustration can manifest and it can look like, oh, you hate us. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily that. Do you get what I'm saying? Another aspect I would say is that in general, I feel like, or I know that women tend to have a problem with taking accountability and realizing that, I may need self-development. I think men are more inclined to take on the fact that, okay, I'm not the best version of myself. I need to fix myself up so I can get the kind of woman that I want. Whereas a lot of times women are like, take me as I am. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, oh, you should like the way I am. And I'm sorry, it just doesn't go like that, especially if you're a guy and you get to a point in life where you have options. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, you may not take your first preference, but another person may come and, you'll be happy to be with them. So I think there's a lot of layers that come into this, but yeah, I had something to say.
I do. I don't want to be rude or anything like that, but I think that one of your issues may also be the fact that you seem like you're quite far removed from culture with them. Because it's not that I don't think that you're black or not, but you've mentioned manga, you've mentioned your education. I can see how you're speaking, like your composure. On the first layer, on first impressions, it does feel like you probably would not relate to these people in terms of culture. And I think that's one of the problems that people usually have with interracial dating, is that they don't understand that race comes with culture. And if you don't connect on that, or if you're not open-minded enough to connect on that, it's not going to work. So I would say probably if I'm somebody that is super in touch with my African culture and I'm this way and that way and that way, actually, you may be somebody that isn't attractive to me, not because of what you look like and because you're smart. It's just because you may just not get me. Because I may just like to dance a bit too much, or may like African music that you may not like, or may want to eat this and you won't like it. So there's like a bit of friction in understanding.
I would say this in Mike's defense, yeah. As someone that I lived in the States as well, right? I did the whole college football and all of that, yeah. Bro, like what culture are you talking about, bro? Because there's the stripper culture that I'm sure that any sensible black guy who has done, gone to school and made something of his life, why would he want to associate with that? And unfortunately, that is prolific. And that is so prolific that it's over here.
But black culture is not stripper culture. I
never said black culture is stripper. I said what culture? Like, and then I said stripper culture.
No.
You're assuming I'm saying black culture.
No, I'm not. I'm just explaining, for example, like, how do I say this without being rude? Like coconut. Where you may be a black person, but you're way more inclined towards white culture, which means that actually as a black person, sometimes as well, in your own culture, you'll be looking and thinking that don't make sense. It almost feels like just how, and I'm not saying this is the truth about him, but I'm just saying on first impressions, I would probably say you feel like you probably won't get what it means to be black from my side. You've gone over to the other side.
Let me just say something. I'm gonna let you speak next. Yeah. Let me say one thing. Yeah. This whole culture thing, even particularly in the UK, I think is a load of bullshit. To be honest, I think that this whole black British culture or black culture really is. when you look at it, it's like you have to be a rapper, you have to be associated with crime or something, you have to be down with, you know, no snitching, or you have to be just down with ratchet behavior, and everything's a joke, and everything's about how well you can dance and how many girls you can sleep with, and you know how big your back is, and all of this kind of stuff. That's the culture you're talking about, bro.
No.
Because as this brother said, when he's dated black women, they've been Nigerian and Ghanaian. So what culture are you talking about, bro?
And guess why? They were doctors. Now, and that's probably...
He never said they were doctors.
He
said so.
They were
Actually,
in his field.
Are they all doctors, yeah?
They tend to be doctors.
Okay, no
and
problem.
also, you mentioned Indian and East Asian. Culturally, those specific countries, those specific areas, they value education a lot. You're a doctor, tick, 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 tick. Doctor, engineer, tick, 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 tick. Doctor, engineer, and in the military, tick, 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 tick.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean? Whereas if you...
So what? So black culture doesn't value education?
It's not that it values education. I'm saying probably why the preferences towards him from certain groups will also be there, right? And then I'm saying from our culture, for example, black culture is actually a lot more extroverted. Yeah, the way that we kind of interact with each other, even through music, through food, through our own like traditions, cultural traditions, I would say, is quite different from how other people would act. And your culture really informs a lot of your identity and who you are. So if I feel like I've got somebody that culturally, even though we're meant to be similar, if culturally we don't look like we're going to get on, to be honest, I feel like that's just not for me.
I'll let you talk. Go on.
I just wanted to say, is it Mike?
Mm-hmm.
So, Denalva, sorry, I'm gonna step on your toes a little bit, but I feel like if you exist, a black woman of you exists. So I don't think it has anything to do with like culture in terms of like if you like anime and stuff, there's gonna be a black woman that like anime and stuff, or like I get what you mean in terms of like culture, in terms of like being out there and whatever, but some people just aren't like that. So there will be black women that are really quiet or really introverted and not like, I don't know, dancing in carnival or like, I don't know, going to the Nigerian 50th or whatever that it is. I don't know. So yeah, I do feel like there are black women that would match you. Because yeah, as I said, if you exist, then they must.
I agree with that. Go on.
I think there's a lot between minorities, yeah, in general. What kind of annoys me about this conversation is we associate education with white culture. Like a black man or whatever, an Afro-Caribbean man or an Asian man could be very educated. It could be an engineer and whatever. And he can still very much be in touch with their culture. Like if you go back home, like a lot of our people are educated. Let's not dumb it down. Like go to countries in Africa and the Caribbean, wherever it may be. Our people are very educated.
What country are you from?
I'm Algerian, so I'm North African.
I thought so, North African.
Yeah. So, and I feel like it's only really a thing like that with a lot of first or second generations in the West.
Yes.
Like we have this ideal of, oh, if he's a bit too he's a bit fresh or or Like no, you can be very educated and intellectual and a successful young black man or Afro-Caribbean man or woman, and you can still be very in touch with your culture. And I think there's a problem when we start separating that, because when we start separating that, it's almost as if we're saying, oh, for you to be educated, you need to be within the white culture and only be a type of way, which now makes you into this and that and the other. But that's not even like, I've never understood that perspective personally, because I know plenty highly educated Afro-Caribbean men, Asian men, whatever, and they are the most in touch with their culture. It's unbelievable. They'll be cooking at home. They'll be doing certain things. They'll be going to the events and the hall parties and the church parties and it's a part of their life. You can be both things. Like, let's not separate education and almost mask that under the white man's umbrella.
Yeah, it's like associating functional behavior and like, you know, doing the right thing as being white. Because, you get what I'm saying? Or it's like when people say, oh, you're talking white or you're acting white because you're not smoking or you know, doing the stereotypical things. And let me just say this, just as the you know, it was kind of weird when the brother said, oh, like they were like guys like you. The funny thing is, like, obviously, like, I know how I look in it. I know I look a stereotypical kind of guy, yeah. And I'm for the most part, I came from that background. Like, do you get what I'm saying? But it wasn't until I traveled and I lived in another country, and then I started to really be exposed to different types of people, different types of backgrounds. You know, I was outside of my pond now. Do you get what I'm saying? And I was forced to integrate and mingle with people from all different backgrounds. And then I realized that this culture that Denalva was talking about, which I'm not trying to attack you for it, but I think a lot of people have this mindset, and it's a lot of people that haven't really broadened their horizons. And that culture is a lie, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? That culture, because just as the young lady said in the middle, you can be educated, you can do the right thing, you don't have to be associated with drilling and trapping, and be very much all about in the empowerment of your people and uplifting your culture. Do you know what I mean? And I know people like that because I've gone outside of the box, and I've made sure that I don't alienate people that are quote unquote educated lames. Because that's a thing that I've heard many times, that it's either a black guy's either a pookie, a thug, or educated lame, or square. Like, why is it? Because in my opinion, I feel like, and I know a lot of people won't agree with this, but I feel like being a black guy is the hardest thing, is the hardest job for out of all men on the planet. Do you get what I'm saying? Because we're stereotyped to the max. And then if we just talk about the dating element, dating within our community is already difficult because we're expected to be that stereotype. If you're not that stereotype, then it's kind of like you're weird, and then you're kind of alienated in a way. Yeah, obviously not by all, but the general consensus is he's not cool. Do you get what I'm saying? And then when you date outside your race, first of all, most women outside our race don't really want to date black men. It may not be because they feel black men are ugly or whatever, but because of social engineering, the reinforcements of the stereotypes, black men are lazy, they make baby mamas, all they do is smoke pot, like all that kind of nonsense. Bro, it's a very, very difficult game to play. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like everybody just needs to have a level of empathy for everybody. Just the same way black men need to have empathy for where black women are coming from, and vice versa. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, it's a difficult one. Does anyone got anything they want to add to it?
I think there's another thing too. So, like, I had a trap house on top of my grandma's house. Like, I mean, I grew up in the streets, so I don't think, and I get along with the black women that I date that's from my culture. So that's not the issue. But I think, you know, there are certain things like girl trips, like I would never, that doesn't happen. Going out to the club, partying, that doesn't happen. Like, it's unacceptable, right? And so, and the women that I've dated the past 8 years, they've never done any of that. And including the black women that I've dated. So there's a certain culture. So even the black women that I've dated, they're more simple, right? You know, they want to travel to different countries. They want to be wine and dined. They want to feel pretty. They want money spent on them, but they don't want to go to the club. They rather go to Stockholm and go to a Michelin star. So it's just a different way of doing things. Whereas, you know, I've like dated a girl, she's like, she wants to go on a girl trip. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like that. I mean, I just stopped talking to her.
Would you say that, like in your interactions, you feel like you're not fun enough for a lot of black women? You don't feel that they see you as a fun guy to be with, so that kind of causes a disconnect.
You know, it's a certain kind of fun because, you know, let's say, you know, like trying edibles or, you know, doing Addy, like traveling different countries.
Stereotypical crap.
Right. So, like, look, like the folks that are like you know, that people might think are the stuffy ones, they're partying the hardest. They're doing the hardest, craziest stuff. Right. So, so I have fun, but it's just different. Like, I would never be in the club. Like, I would never go. I've never been. You know, I can't see over anyone, right? So it's like I'm not gonna go to a club, but you know, I'll do other things with you. Let's go to a museum. Let's go to a symphony orchestra. Let's go, you know, do something crazy. Just random fly to a country 2 days in advance. Just pick a random country and we're out.
All right,
that's my fun, you know.
Go on.
I have to say, please let us not underestimate the value and the importance of culture in our lives, because museums, symphony, this, that doesn't sound like much that is actually related to like the your true culture, which is what the other Black women are probably looking for. The women that you have met is great because you found like-minded people that have expanded and explored outside of their general culture. I understand that because I've done the same. I'm mixed race, so I can understand how I can jump from culture to culture, but it still remains. So obviously you're explaining all of these things, and if I put my Black and straight African shoes on, I'll be like, okay, I get that, but you're now making it sound almost like there's an issue with dancing, there's an issue with all of these things that actually, as a Black person, especially of African heritage, which we all are, music, the rhythm, all of these things are things that actually culture, even in our blood, it makes us feel different. It's something that we need to relate to. We can try and run away from it and say, oh yeah, it's the 21st century, we can do this, we can do that, but what is in you is in you. So that's why sometimes there may be a disconnect, because people are probably trying to see that element of your Black identity that comes from that side, that culture, where they can relate to you and probably understand you better. So obviously when you explain you've got all of these things going on, maybe just you need to have more conversations with these people and explain that you've changed because you've grown and you've been in different environments. You still retain that, some of that cultural identity, but obviously you've just evolved. That's all.
Cool.
I think there's a couple things, like how one Black person, say you're going from a West Africa to East Africa, how you each identify Black culture can be very different, because Black culture isn't one thing. Just because you're within the same skin tone doesn't mean that you have the same everything within your culture. You don't share everything. Secondly, I think he's speaking a lot more on preferences in terms of like the types of things he likes to do with women. Any woman, no matter what you look like, could have those preferences. Just because you're ethnically boxed into a stereotype doesn't mean that this is all you can be, and this is like, if you're not a part of this stereotype, you're not a part of us. I think we're in a generation now where, because of social media and all these sort of things, we have all this exposure. All these stereotypes have been pushed out as characteristics, and they've been pushed out as things as, if you're from this culture or you're from this country, you're automatically like this. So if I like this type of West African man, and if he's not like this, then in my head, you're not a West African man. You're more like a white man, or you're more like this type of man. But even the whole identification of like Black people, white people, that's not a thing back home. Like you identify people by their tribes, by their culture, by what country they're from, by who their parents are and what their grandparents did and stuff like that. You don't purely identify somebody by the color of their skin. And I think this is something that's been put into the West to separate, and then to also indoctrinate us within our own communities, so that now we have these situations where you're not Black enough, you're not African enough, you're not this enough, you're not that enough, and we place those things and we put them as if they were a part of our culture. But like I said, Black culture isn't just one thing. You can be Black and come from two different parts of the world and have a completely different culture.
I wanna ask us. I wanna change the pace. I wanna ask you a question. Yeah, okay. Like whenever you hear like Black guys say, I don't really date Black women because they got bad attitude. What does that make you think? Like, do you think they're just making an excuse, or do you think there's an element of truth to that?
It makes me feel like, don't underestimate my attitude. Like I can come at you crazy too. Like I don't think it's something that is like a trait specific to Black women. Anyone can have an attitude if they're having a bad day. Like that's my perception of it. Like I don't think it kind of has anything to do with race. Like you can have white Karens going around screaming and having rants all the way, and so you see it in social media all the time in the States. Like it has nothing. I don't think it has anything to do with the color of your skin. It's your attitude.
So it's
your personality.
So you feel like when Black guys say that, they're basically just making up
excuses. Yeah, I think
would you agree?
I think that we all of us have been like, I don't even know what the word is, but like taught to think that Black women are these like really angry people. Even like down to just looking at Black women, sometimes people just like be like, they're angry, and we're not. So yeah, I think it's just a really deep rooted thing in all of us that we kind of need to.
Do you think there could be a chance that because this has been engineered into us, that there is a percentage of black women that they've basically bought into that, and now they actually express it in their behavior? Because I'll be real with you, I have seen it. Do you know what I mean? And I think, honestly, if we're all honest, we've all seen it and we've experienced it. Even you as women, you've come across black girls that just been extra for no reason. So do you think, again, it's up to your opinion's your opinion, but do you think that there's a percentage of black women that have bought into it and now they live it out?
What, as the angry black woman?
Yeah, like the they live out the stereotypes.
I don't think anyone chooses to live out the angry black woman stereotype, but I think there is a lot for black women to be angry about. So
okay, well, let's get into that. Why do you think?
I don't know how to. So for example, I can give you a bit of my school experience. So we just knew as the black girls, no one is going to talk to you in that way. No black boy, no white boy, no Asian boy, no one. Once you're black, that was it. You could be friends with them, but you're not getting into a relationship with anyone.
Did you go to school in London?
Yeah, I went to school in West London. Yeah.
And what? And so in school,
that was just a thing. We just knew it was just, I don't know, one of those things
You're
that you
picked
just
last.
know. Yeah, we're picked last. The lighter you
lucky.
are, maybe the better. But if you was black, you did know that no one is talking to you in that way.
So in those years, no guys ever tried to holler at you. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe one or two, but in comparisons to my white peers or even girls lighter, they had way more attention than we did. But this was normal for us. We knew that this was a thing. And even in terms of healthcare, black women don't get the same healthcare as white women, or the lighter you are, the better the healthcare. So there is a lot for black women to be angry about, to be fair. So
what you're saying is that one of the primary reasons why a lot of black women may be angry is because in school they wasn't getting picked first.
No,
they're just stressed in general.
I wasn't asking you.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there is a lot for black women to be angry about.
Okay, what else do they need to be angry about?
Black women are the most underprivileged of everyone, of white men, of
what
black
do you mean
men,
by that?
of Asian women. We are at the bottom of the chain. So
in terms of what?
I don't want to be too scientific about it, but
no, you do. You actually need to, because there's guys. I'll be real with you. There's a lot of guys that watch videos like this, and when women say stuff like that, but they don't actually specify what they're talking about, it's just you're capping. You're just saying anything. So I'm giving you. This is why I wanted more girls here, innit? So you can actually put it out there. What is it? Why Why is there that percentage that feel upset and angry, and when a guy tries to move for me, do you know what I mean? What are you talking to me for, kind of thing? Why does that percentage of women have that energy?
What, of black women?
Yeah, black women.
Because I just think it's just harder for us.
In what way?
In every way, really.
Beauty standards.
And I feel
I'm not asking you. I'm asking her.
Oh God, I feel like spotlight's on me. Oh, I thought you was going to talk. So if we're going back to the dating scene, for example, it is harder for black women to find someone on their level than it is for a white woman to find. So for example, and this is a fact, I'm not just pulling this out of thin air, but black women actually are more successful as a whole than black men. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of work, careers, if you Google it, you'll see it. But we don't end up with those black men. Those black men usually go for white women. Does that make sense? So is that not something to be angry about?
So you're saying the top tier black men decide that, you know what, I don't want a black woman.
I think that's true.
Okay.
If you look at, even if you just Google I don't know, black love, you usually see the black man with a lighter skinned woman or a white woman. You never see really a dark skinned man with a dark skinned woman. That's not something that really happens.
Give us some examples of these guys that you're talking about. Who comes to mind?
I don't know. Denalva pick someone. I don't know.
No. She didn't say that. You said that.
I don't know.
So
I'm not talking from celebrities.
Okay,
Go. There you go. If you look at footballers, all footballers are with.
What percentage?
Even the rappers.
Hey. What percentage of black men are footballers?
God knows, I don't know.
You're a smart girl. You said you're.
I am a smart girl. I studied science though.
No, but you can make an educated guess. right?
Okay, maybe like 20%.
20%. You
I
think
don't know.
20% of black guys in the UK are professional footballers? 20%.
Of black guys, or wait,
We're
is your
talking about
question?
black guys.
Yeah, but I thought your question was how many footballers
Are black.
are black, not how many percentage of black boys are footballers.
No. Because what I asked you is about the successful black guys that they choose non-black, right?
Yeah.
And then I said, which black guys, which one? Like, give me some examples. And then he jumped in and said footballers, and you said, yeah. So I'm asking
Oh right,
you.
I feel like there's probably only 1% of the whole population of black boys that are footballers.
Less than 1%.
But there's less than like no. Who is a footballer? Like that's
okay.
That's
Let
a
me ask you
small
this.
percentage of people.
Pardon me.
That's like a small percentage of people anyway. So the percentage is always going
So
to be small.
so using them as a measuring stick is kind of ridiculous because the percentage is so low.
Yeah, but you was asking for examples, so that was the
Yeah,
example.
but what I'm saying is why I say that is because if you're looking at this top 0.02% of people and looking at what they're doing, obviously it doesn't really reflect the demographic fairly. That's what I'm saying. And what I tend to always see, this is a constant pattern, is that when I hear the gripes of, women on various different topics, not just interracial dating, a lot of times it's like this hyper focus on this tiny top tier of men and what they're doing because most women want those guys. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't feel like it's a fair assessment because you've got guys like Mike here who's saying that his preference is black women, but the majority of black women are looking at rappers and athletes and what they're doing and then getting upset because rappers and athletes want to date white girls, Asian girls, Latina girls.
Yeah,
bro,
but-
like at the end of the
And
day...
what do you think that does to a black girl growing up, seeing that she's always going to be last because light-skinned girls come first, the Latinas come first, the whites come first.
Bro.
You grow as a woman really insecure.
So basically what you're saying is black women should be upset because some footballer he got him a
No,
white
but
girl. What are you talking
you
about?
said like sorry,
It's not
Mike
that.
said just you, but
Go on,
he said
go on,
you.
go on.
So you said Mike's preference is black women,
That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said that out of his own mouth.
but he's not with a black woman. So
Okay.
whether that's his preference or not, that's irrelevant because he didn't end up with one. Do you get it? So
But that
loads of black
doesn't
men
that
could
doesn't
have
change what I said though.
yeah, but they could like black women, but that doesn't matter because they don't end up with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but okay, for instance, yeah, like Mike, his circles of like, he's in education, blah, 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 blah. Like they're gonna be more different people, more women of other ethnic groups around in general, just because the population of black people in the UK is what? 3%?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the probability, the numbers, if you look at the numbers, the chances, the probability of you coupling up with somebody else is high, extremely high. The higher class, the higher education, the higher everything, you're gonna be exposed to more different people. That's just the reality. And
Yeah,
that's
of
not
course.
dissing black women at all. That's just reality.
yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's like if we was all in Nigeria, the probability of us all, regardless of like being non-black, the probability is you're gonna get with someone that's black because you're in
Yeah, yeah,
Nigeria.
yeah.
So it's the same thing, and I think that's something that for some reason people just forget about. That you're in the UK or you're in the USA. USA, what? Black people at 13%.
Yeah.
13%. We're 3%. Do you get what I'm saying? So you got to take that into consideration. I'm gonna let someone else. Yeah, go on.
So look, I actually want to say this in defense of black women. They're the most loyal to black men. They'll die for black men, and they've loved me the most. Period. Like, so I said everything that I said, but these women will stop going on the girls' trips to be with a black man, right? So that is the case. But the thing is, and it's not fair, black women experience racism. They experience all of these different things, but guess what? The other women don't. So
Thank you.
they're ready to be submissive. They're ready to just, they have no care in the world. They just, it's just easier to be with them. And again, it's not fair, but it's just reality because black women have it the hardest in the world. So when it comes time to marriage, the white girls and the Asian girls, it's easy to do it because they don't need to heal. But if you want to be with a black woman, you have to walk her through, like you have to really be part of her journey. And that's harder to do. So I agree with everything that the women have said here. But unfortunately, it's just harder to be with black women because they come with more trauma. Like literally even in their body, Like
I actually made a video about this a long time ago, and it was basically it was along the lines of like black women don't have the luxury to be feminine because what I said in the video is that, like, obviously a lot of black people in general, yeah, we come from trauma, we come from dysfunctional backgrounds and stuff like that. And listen, I understand, like, I've got 3 sisters, like, I've got nieces, like, do you get what I'm saying? And I understand that just the fact of a lot of us coming from single parent homes, that's a huge fact. It's so underrated. And, you know, this whole, like, praising single motherhood is very, very dangerous and damaging to the community. And this is a manifestation of this problem, or this point of origin, right? That there's a lot of divide between the men and women, because, again, all right, boom, you have a household, yeah, just the mums there, you have the boys, you have the girls, yeah. The girls never have no dad, so they've not grown up with no protection or provision from a man that's shown them unconditional love without requesting something sexual in return, yeah. So they've never seen a man and woman, black man, black woman, functionally having a relationship and having a household. So now all they've seen is their mum be independent. They emulate that. Their mum's probably told them, girl, you better get your money. You don't need no man. Don't never depend on a man, blah, blah, blah. Add in feminism on top of that. Now you got women that don't know how to, you know, couple up with a man in general. Do you get what I'm saying? They go out into the world, and now they have been influenced by Cardi B, City Girls, Megan Thee Stallion, all of these kind of people. Now they're going after rich guys, thugs, rappers, athletes, blah, blah, blah. These guys got options. They're top tier. They can run around and cheat and do whatever. This happens a few times, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Their heart's been broken 3 times now. Now they're bitter. Now they're just like, all men are dogs. All Nigerian men cheat. Blah, 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 blah. All of this. And then, bruh, it's done. Do you get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, every man, regardless of what color the man is, just wants peace. A lot of times guys will forego looks for peace. That's why you see some guys, you might see some black guys out there that, let's keep it real, you see some black guys and it's like, oh, he's with a white woman and she's overweight. Why are they with, am I lying though? Why is it you see black men with women outside their race who are, you know, not the best looking? Because usually that woman's probably giving him peace of mind and emptying his balls and keeping his belly full without the headache. And it's just like what the brother said, it's not fair, because, as I said, black women don't have the luxury to be just feminine and dainty because they come from dysfunctional pasts. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you go on.
And this is one of the things that I think, since we always mention the word accountability, if we're coming from single parent households as well, and we're always looking at women do this, women do that. Now, when are we going to hold men responsible for also making a change that allows for their sisters to grow into a world where they're more accepted? Because, yeah, I even say I'm mixed race, but I suffered a lot of racism in Portugal and here in England. Right? I know what it feels like to be a black girl because I was labeled as a black girl. And yeah, you're picked last all the time, and you grow up with a lot of insecurities. And then when you have men that you're like the fathers before us that came in, did a lot of things that obviously they too come from trauma, and then they're out here running away from the trauma and going for another race and leaving us out to dry, when actually the black woman, as he said, is the most loyal to the black man. Is probably the one that stays and takes care of him the best because she understands his struggle. But nobody wants to understand a black woman's struggle. And that's what is not fair. And if we want to actually continue to, you know, grow and become a better, you know, community, we have to also look at the fact, bro, it's your turn to now start protecting your sister, because your mother protected you. The women have been doing the work behind the scenes for time. So when are men actually going to stand up and say, yeah, do you know what, let me relax. Let me actually speak to my black girlfriend, somebody that I do like, and actually speak to her and say, actually, do you know what? Maybe you could change this. Maybe can you try this? I know you may be upset because of this. Just start like reasoning, because it's not fair. It really is not. And then black girls are the loud, angry, this, that. These times they're not. Look, Nikel's sitting there peacefully, cutely, simple. Not every black girl is like that. Do you know what I mean? Not every black girl is even going to display her anger with fingers in your face. Like, it's not like that all the time. So
yeah, nobody says all. Nobody says
no,
all,
but
though.
That's generally the stereotype that sticks, because then even the black man will fortify that stereotype. So even your own race is against you, girl, you don't have a chance.
Yeah, but it's not one-sided though. They're just the same way a black man can say the exact same thing you said in parallel. exact same thing in parallel. So I think everybody needs to be held accountable. And as I said at the top of the show, I feel like women are less likely to accept accountability. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me give you an example. In the USA, I can talk about the USA, right? That I noticed that a lot of women from my community seem to have a problem with staying in shape, staying in the right weight class. It's actually a really big problem. And in America in general, it's a big problem, right? Now, as black men, you know, a lot of us, we like to play sports like I did, you know, all of that stuff. You know, we would prefer to be with women that, you know, aesthetically suit us. Now, if you come out on a public, say I was just sitting here on my own and I said that, what do you think, what kind of rebuttals or feedback do you think I would get from black women?
Well, the same way that there's some that have issues with their body, there's some that got the bangiest bodies you've ever seen. In fact,
that's not what I asked you, bro.
Every white woman now wants to have a black woman's body.
This is not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you.
No, I'm just telling you what you
but
get.
I don't need you to tell me what I didn't ask you.
Now,
I asked you a straight question.
What would be the rebuttals? And here's the rebuttal. That's what somebody would say.
Do you think that would be the common rebuttal from black women?
Probably to defend themselves.
That's cap.
What do you normally get then?
It would be fat shaming. It'd be fat shaming.
To
You're
the
misogynist. You're body shaming. You hate us. That's what it would be.
But
white girls have issues with their weight too. So do the Mexicans. They're actually largely obese, aren't they? In America?
No, I said in America in general. Yeah, I said they got a problem in general.
So it's not black
but
women.
I'm just saying, no. But I'm giving you an example of accountability, because at the end of the day, that is one of the biggest things that is taking out black women in that country.
Okay.
So obviously that's a big issue. It's not even just about attracting black men, because there's a lot of black men that will still date a black woman who's overweight. But I'm saying that you said these things, when are black men going to do this? But like, bro, it goes both ways. The door swings both ways. Do you get what I'm saying? And it goes back to that thing of take me as I am. I'm sorry, I don't have to take nobody as they are. I don't do ducks. I don't. And that's it. And everybody that knows me in real life knows that, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, bro, like at the end of the day, my last ex-girlfriend, she was half white, half Indian. Yeah. And I remember one time I was in Camden with her, that Camden market crap. Yeah. And I remember I seen some black girl and she was giving me like a mad dirty look. And I was thinking, bro, like at the end of the day, bro, like if you was alone and I was alone, the likelihood of you giving me some kind of weird attitude if I approach you is pretty high, because it's happened many, many times. This is not a like one-off incident. Yeah, I could be wrong, but you know, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, like people just need to be accountable, bro. That's all I'm saying. But
Sorry.
What did you want to say? You wanted to say something?
I just wanted to go back to what she was saying about black men taking accountability. Don't you think that later on in life they kind of like correct themselves? Because in this dating scene, it's like, yeah, black men are dating white women because they are easier. I think they end up marrying black women rather than white women, because yeah, it's nice to date you and it's cool, but then the culture doesn't match, and you end up being like, then you grow up and later on in life you as a black man would be like, you know what, like now I'm in this time of my life and I'm gonna just like pursue a black woman because it doesn't work with a white woman.
I agree with that. It's like the cultures and it's the families as well. Like, you know, someone said it on another podcast in here and they was like, oh yeah, I might be dating a white girl, but her dad might be racist. Do you get what I'm saying? One of my younger boys, he was dating some girl and it was that exact same situation. Like they'll be sitting down watching football and then the dad will be like, oh yeah, all of you lot look alike. And it's just like, what, are you going to marry into that?
Mm-hmm.
And then what, if you have a kid with the girl? And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that I'm agreeing with you that some guys may have that realization that, like, yeah, like I'm basically merging my lineage, or this is going to be my lineage from now on. And also another thing, the likelihood of, if you have a mixed race child and you live in the UK, the probability that mixed race child is going to couple up with another white person is high, very high. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially if you live outside of London. Oh my days. Like that's, bro, most of the mixed race boys and girls I know outside of London, they're with white people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying? I have another mate, and he's got a YouTube channel, and he said in the video that, like, he's a black guy up in North England. He had kids with 2 kids, I think, with a white lady. And basically he was sitting down in his video and he said, yo, I just came to the realization that, like, I've just had kids with a white woman, and the reality is my kids will, like 95% likelihood, go and couple up with another white person, and then that's me out.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that to say, oh, yeah, you shouldn't do interracial dating. I think live your movie, do whatever makes you happy, whatever. But I'm just saying, I agree with you on that point. I think that sometimes it can be just a phase you're going through, or you're just having fun or whatever. But some people may just think, oh, I'm just going to couple up with someone from my community. Do you know what I'm saying? Go on.
And I don't know if this is more of like a cultural thing or a race thing, but there's a lot of like unsaid things between someone that shares a similar culture or race that there's things that you wouldn't necessarily need to say, but they're actually understood by the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike when you're with someone from a different kind of race or culture, and it's kind of like there's like the subliminal expectation of things being there, but then it's
You
not
don't get it.
Yeah, you don't get it because there's not that understanding there in a sense. So
Yeah, but that has to do with culture, not really with like the color of your skin.
Yeah,
you know?
it's true. It's
Yeah.
more of a cultural thing rather than in a racial thing, I guess.
Yeah. And that's
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. So you said that you date black guys, yeah? Have you ever experienced like where the guy's family may have made you feel a bit uncomfortable because you're not? Oh, okay.
Never.
Okay.
she's done
Has
with
any
the culture.
has any of you girls done interracial dating?
Any
Yeah.
person that
All
would
right, I wanna
interracial.
Listen, I want to hear everyone's experiences, man. All right, starting from you in the middle, yeah? Tell me what the scenario, and was it a negative experience, a good experience?
With me, I've always, even within family, like I've always been of the preference of just African men, period. Because for me, it's not necessarily about all of that. It's about African traditions across the board are very similar. You have different elements because of like where you're at.
Your
but-
rice is better than my rice.
Do you understand? But it's all the same. Like my current partner now, he's half Sudanese, half Kenyan. And even though I'm of a different complexion, we bond because we have the cultural elements there, and the family love me off, my family love him off. And my thing has always been that familiarity will only ever come from people within my continent. Do you understand? Like I've dated Caribbean men. It's slightly different because the culture and elements within how they are is just quite different to African men, period. And, you know, I've dated my own people. Like, I think as long as there's that level playing field of, okay, there's a similar culture, you know, we're kind of around the same things, you know, like respecting your elders, you know, we cook similar foods, we have similar traditions, the clothing is similar, like languages, tribes, like even things within tribes that you would never really know unless you got into deeper conversations aren't that far apart, no matter like where in Africa you're from. And I think because I've been educated enough to have that understanding, I've never really had a negative experience within that, and vice versa.
I hear that.
Mm,
Hey,
yeah.
let me just say this. Everybody hit the like button. At least over half of you have not hit the like button. You are just like, I don't know, you're just being weird.
You
hit
think
the
this
like
is for
button.
free?
You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. It helps YouTube push this video out so more people can see it. There's a lot of you watching right now. Yeah, please help. Even if you're not hitting the super chat, and a lot of you should hit the super chat right now, even if every one of you donates something. Yeah, like do something, man, because listen, you don't really hear many of your favorite YouTubers talking about this kind of stuff because they're not equipped. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So do your bit, hit the like button, support, super chat, all of that good stuff. All right, cool. My guy in the back.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
beard gang, yeah. I want to get your take. So have you ever had any interracial dating experiences that were a bit off?
Yeah, I mean, early on in my life, dated different races, but I'd say the first white girl that I went out with, it was a big shock when I first went to her house. It's just like hearing her swear at her parents, swearing in front of their parents, things like that. Obviously, that's nothing that I was used to growing up. Like even just saying shit was forbidden in my household. You know what I mean? So that was massive in terms of the culture shock. But I think when it comes to interracial dating, the main thing is that you kind of understand each other's culture. You don't have to completely get it, but you kind of respect the main elements of each other's culture, and then just have similar interests. Because I think culturally, it doesn't really matter too much if the culture is exactly the same, but you still need to have similar interests. Like I've been with black girls and mixed race girls that don't know the music that I listen to. They don't like hip hop music. They don't like rap music. They don't know, I'm playing songs in the car and they've got no idea what I'm playing. But then I could have a white girl, bring her in the car, play my music, and she's rocking with it. So it's about similar interest, I think, more than culture.
Okay. All right. What about you?
What have I done? Interracial dating?
Yeah.
I have.
Let's talk about it. What was it like?
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't mind it. Like, in my list of things that I want, race isn't too much of a problem. But the last white guy I spoke to, he said that I would die tired if I keep fighting for equality, and that the Black Lives Matters movement is self-righteous, and it's just not going to happen for us.
Mad.
So that was my last interracial kind of, and I haven't spoken to a white guy since.
Do you know what is mad about that? Yeah, I'll go back to you. During the BLM thing, there was some very distasteful posts I saw on Instagram during the protests where, unfortunately, I saw like non-black women, and there was one where she was holding up, like, let's say, a tool, in the shape of a man's tool, and it was a black one, big black one, and she said she had some mad like sign saying something very, very derogatory, but it was meant to be in support of black men, but it was basically along the lines of black men's sexual prowess. So, and it was so distasteful, and it goes back to that fact of like what Beard Gang said at the back, having that respect and understanding of culture and where people are coming from. Like, and I had an experience like that with a white girl that I was seeing long time ago, like years ago. And she lived in like outside London. But she likes black guys, right? So, and sometimes you got to be beware of that. Do you get what I'm saying? And I remember one time I was trying to explain to her like a situation, like a racial situation, because I'm living in such a white dominant environment. You get a lot of like these little niggly situations, right? And I was just explaining my frustration, right? And I understand she's a white girl that's got a white family and blah, 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 but you're meant to be on my team. We're on the same team. And so, boom, I'm explaining it. And she was like, oh, what are you talking about? You're just seeing things. You got a chip on your shoulder. And that was the beginning of the end. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you just don't you just don't see outside of your bubble. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but then on the other hand, I've been involved with non-black women who do understand, but they tend to be the ones that are from like multicultural environments. They've grown up with black people.
They need to have black friends.
Yeah, she's got black friends.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So there's levels in it. There's levels to it. But Karen, did you have more?
No, that was really it. Like, yeah, I've not dated anyone that's not black since.
Okay. Tell me about your interracial dating experiences. Is it all been love and rainbows and sunshine, or has there been any stereotypical episodes or anything? Or?
No, I always had like good relationships with my exes. I just have to say that I prefer to date black men because I think our cultures match more. Where
are you from again?
I'm from Portugal.
Okay.
And I grew up in an area there's a lot of black people, like from Angola, Cape Verde, Mozambique. So I feel like I've dated a white British guy, and I feel me being a white person, but not from England, our cultures didn't match. So that's why like I can relate more with being a black guy. And I feel like you was asking about like families and stuff. I feel like they are very welcoming. I never had any issues with like going to a black guy's house and seeing their moms, whatever. And they were all like very nice to me.
Very
like,
welcoming.
Very welcoming. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like, some people may disagree, but I feel like black people, we're actually quite welcoming.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm
100%.
saying? Like, whereas, again, as I said earlier, I feel like other groups may be a little bit more cautious of black because of what they seen on Grime Daily. Do you get what I'm saying? This ain't a dig at Grime Daily, but I'm just saying that's just an example, yeah. But I'm just saying like what there's been portrayed by music and movies. But anyway, did you have something you wanted to say? Denova, you got something to say? Let's hear about your interracial dating experience. Go on.
So I'm mixed race, which means that actually most people that I would date are likely to be in an interracial relationship with me. So I've had
Okay, you
white
got a unique
boyfriends.
experience, have ya?
Yeah, because it's interesting because I'm black, but I'm not black, right? I'll explain. I've had white boyfriends. Their family loved me. Why? Because I could relate to them. I know how to kind of be within that environment because that's also kind of part of what I know because my mom's also white. And they like the exoticness. They like, oh, spicy. They love a little bit of a cha-cha-cha, something different, you know? Then on the other side, with the black guys that I've actually dated, all Nigerians. I don't know. It's my curse or my blessing. I'm not sure yet. So far, obviously. Anyway, and I feel like with them, I'm met with a little bit more resistance sometimes because I think there's a suspicion of who is this kind of watered down person that is African, but the mother is white. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it can be a lot of pressure actually because I'm going into a family as somebody that is nearly there, like that should relate to them, but they're not sure. So I think I've struggled more with the black side like of dating than with the white side in terms of meeting families. In terms of merging with culture, I'll definitely black men. I merge better with the black man than with the white man because I think that I'm too spicy and too exotic and too different and too energetic and just I don't.
You are a bit much at times, though. I don't think that's got nothing to do with black. I think that's just you.
No, I think it has to definitely do with the white man them still, because it's like they don't get me. They don't get me. I think sometimes like white men also fantasize a lot about the idea of having a black woman. You know, and if you're light skinned, it's even easier because you're not full black.
Can I add a little caveat to that? What I've noticed, especially with like white girls, yeah, a lot of times when they say they like black guys, a lot of times they mean mixed race, and a lot of times when white boys say they like black girls, they mean mixed race.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying? Like,
it's easier pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's more of a yeah. I love black girls, man. Yeah, she's mixed race, bro.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Do you remember? But this is just taking it back to just something that we were talking about before. Do you remember that group chat video that came out of the white girls talking about why they like black men?
Some people said that it was fake, though.
Mind you, though, I don't think that it's fake.
I don't know I don't know. I did a video about it a long time ago when it happened. I don't know.
I'm just saying. Like,
but I think that could very much be something that happens in real life. I'm not saying that thing specifically is real, but I can believe that.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's not no far-fetched thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Go on, bro.
So I think I think first off, all the women that I've dated, they worked in black communities and they were receptive. So like, for example, one girl I dated, she came back to the hood. My grandma's rolling a blunt, drinking Budweiser 76. We're watching, literally, they're robbing the Rite Aid. And we're just sitting on the porch because that's what happens in the hood. And she's there. And I have a friend who's married to a white girl. And I think don't underestimate these women because some of them are really about it. And then again, it's kind of like the dowry or the bride price. So the woman, because she was in the hood, she can tell her parents and get the parents up to speed. And the parents, they only care about their daughter has a man that could support her. That's the only thing they care about. So they don't care that I'm black. They just care that her daughter has a supporter. And then in terms of other things, women from other races, their parents have more money. Their parents will pay for private school. They have more resources. So they're like, okay, he's paying everything for my daughter. He's taking care of all her bills. They are going to step in a certain way. So I think it'll never be a cultural fit 100%, but I think there are certain things that play into this and make it at least palatable for black guys. But it's never perfect. I do think most of the time it's, you're kind of settling for the non-black person. At least in my, like, that's how I feel.
I hear you, my bro. All right, I'm gonna change the pace a little bit, and get the likes up on the video, man. Get it to 300 likes right now, man. 300 likes on this video right now. We only need a few. Yeah, let's get it up. All right. I want to change the pace. So, from the conversations I've had with brothers and why they choose to date out, because I think we've kind of gone on a lot of different tangents, but I really want to get back to what I've heard brothers say out their own mouths, and it may not be nice,
It's not.
but this is the reality, because this is real. This is KingRichez right now, ain't no joke thing, ain't no joke, man, bruv, So I want to run down, and I want to get you lots of opinions on if you think it's lies, it's cap, whatever, right? Popular talking points I've heard, Number 1, attitude, that's number 1. Number 2, overweight, Number 3, they like thugs. They prefer street guys, thugs, criminals, that's what they want. Number 4, a lot of them are single mums. A lot of them are baby mamas. All right, of them 4, do you think there's any kind of justification there, or do you think it's all BS? What do you think?
Okay, maybe I think 50-50, like the whole attitude thing. Like one of our friends here mentioned, like there's a lot of reasons why a black woman is angry these days. So maybe the attitude comes from that.
So you agree there's attitude is there?
I agree that anyone can have attitude.
No, but we're not just talking about anyone. We're talking about interracial dating and why we think black men may date out. And black men are saying there is an attitude problem. So do you believe you're going to get your chance?
Oh, no, I'm just playing with
Oh, I thought you put your hand up. Like, get me? Saint school. Anyway, so boom, like, do you believe that there is some validity to what is being said there?
I feel like it's a stereotype, the whole attitude thing. But what's catching me off guard is the fact that they're attracted to thugs and thieves and stuff. Like, I don't think any woman wants that insecurity of being with a criminal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't it make sense when we have that reinforcement all over the place, all over media?
But
why does that not make sense?
But for guys to say that black women only go for thugs,
it's not.
And
they're
gangsters.
not saying only black women, but they're saying black women do it, and to a degree which is kind of just messing up the whole balance.
I think that's cap
in dating.
I think that's cap.
I don't think it is actually cap, because you can go on YouTube now. You can do a search on your phone and you can watch videos where women talk about dating guys from the hood.
But sorry, what are the age range? Like
different ages.
Because I feel
I've
like
done
that's
reaction
younger.
videos. So I've done reaction. There was one reaction video that I did. I think this channel was called Ask a Black Woman, and it was 3 women, and they were not teenagers, and they weren't 21, 22, 23, 24. They were grown.
And they were
saying, dating guys from the hood and dating guys at Square and educated lanes and all that
where
kind
are
of
they
stuff.
from though? Are they from the hood? Because
Exactly.
Because it could be the people that have been interviewed are actually from.
But
the hood.
they wasn't necessarily. Now I'm saying that they wasn't necessarily doing. They were just talking normal. They was just normal chicks. Then if you look at what's it? Obviously we're talking about media people, but what was that show? Atlanta Housewives.
Real Housewives.
Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Those women were lawyers, bro. Those women were like, do you know what I mean? They were affluent. Do you get what I'm saying? And then they were still dating guys that were criminals.
But you know,
come on, man.
Do you know what I think it is? Yeah, I think that with black men, because obviously as a black man, you're either going to be a thug, a this, a this, a this, a this, a that. A successful, perhaps, a really successful black man sometimes may lose out on the sexy appeal of having a sort of like dangerous mystery to them, because they have to be like on point all the time, because they can never be, intimidating or in any way spicy in a world, especially black men, that is ruled by white men. So black men tend to conform. So realistically, probably the masculinity that we are used to seeing in a black man may get lost with success for the black man, and perhaps maybe for the chav version of a black girl, she might think, okay,
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro.
So basically,
I
I'm
have
saying
no clue what
all
you're
these
talking
black
about.
girls you're talking about, they sound like the black version of Chavs.
Nah, man.
And then I think like the more successful you are as a
Listen,
black
let me go back to what I said, because you're just confusing the whole thing. Talk about black chavs and I don't know. What
no, I think it's chavvy. If you think that most black girls have
chavvy.
an attitude,
it's not chavvy.
One thugs, a baby.
Do you know what
mothers.
chav is?
I know what chav is.
Then it's not chavvy. You should know it's not chavvy then.
Why is it not
But
chavvy?
maybe there's a lack of masculinity that they see, like that with the like straight and narrow guy that they kind of get with the thug or like the gangster, because there's like there's a kind of hyper masculinity about them.
That makes sense.
And as a black man, the more successful you become, as a black man, the more successful you become, the more you're going to have to dial down on those things, because to the outside world, you are generally intimidating. You're generally like dangerous. So you kind of like
really
become
truly,
a bit too straight.
Really and truly, to be successful, you would have to tone that down. I've had to tone it down as well. Mm-hmm. Because that's just the way of the world. Like this hyper masculine thug stereotype criminal drilling and trapping is trash. The fact that it gets it's toxic, is dysfunctional. The fact that it gets reinforced and supported so hard in black communities around the world, not even just in the UK or the USA. Like, bro, everybody's got to get the opinion of what some rapper thinks about everything.
That's dead.
Bro, it doesn't matter if you say that's dead. That's the reality, bro. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying there's a reinforcement for certain stereotypes, in particular black men, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why you don't see all these podcasts getting black doctors and lawyers and military guys and stuff hearing their opinion. Black guys that have just done the right thing their whole lives. They don't have no affiliation. Oh, I went to jail, but I've reformed now. Why don't they talk to guys that never went to jail? They never do that, bro. That's no. It ain't just because nothing, bruv. It's because, this is how we are being socially engineered. The fact that no, but this is the thing. When you say it's because, it's kind of like making another excuse. You shouldn't say it's because.
But rappers, celebrities, basketball players, football players, those are the guys that are celebrated. Those are the guys that are brought up. You don't see a doctor who cured cancer being up there. And
you do in other communities.
That's not true in other communities.
But you see more of it. You see more
real success is more praised in other places.
If it's not as prolific in the black community, when it happens, it should be at the forefront, because it doesn't happen that much. It's rare. It should be exactly, and that is the point.
It should be.
That's the point. And again, as I said, you're gonna get more. There'll be more women, in particular, of all races, that will be ready to go and celebrate ex-rapper. I'm not even gonna say rappers' names because some of them I'm cool with. Ex-rapper, whatever, yeah. But the guy that got first class in university, blah blah blah, he may get a little article somewhere, bruv. Little article. He ain't gonna get mentioned on TV, but we gotta know what drill rapper blah 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 did. Oh, free him. Why you saying free him? He did what he did and he rapped about it, bruv. Come on, bro. Like, well, that's why we will always be socioeconomically at the bottom, bruv.
Yeah,
because we are reinforced. The guys are reinforced, we are conditioned that this is the pinnacle of masculinity. Just like you said, the hyper masculinity. This is the type of guy. Then all these girls that didn't have no dads believe that that's masculinity. That's a real man there because he's willing to murk other people that look like himself. That's what it is.
You know what?
And that's not prolific in other communities. It happens in other communities, but it's not celebrated like it is us. In fact, it's celebrated to the point where it's marketed to other communities and they enjoy it, but they don't live it out.
That's
true. Do you know what it is? I think black culture is like a slave to consumerism, because it's a very deep and complex subject. You've got a lot of black people that go through a lot of hardships in life that most other cultures and people that they don't walk down those paths, they don't experience the same things. A lot of black people have a very unique experience, but then that unique experience, a lot of these people are creative. They'll write it down and rap about it. And because a lot of people don't experience that, it's then interesting. So then they consume it. And then it becomes a bigger thing. That's why obviously that black culture is so encapsulated around hip hop, rap, that gangster image, because that's what makes the money. And it's pushed out there as the main narrative.
Yeah. No,
it's like a vicious circle.
Yeah, I agree with you. But it's a fact of like at the end of the day, it gets to a point where everybody's got the internet, everybody can read, everybody knows what's going on, bruv. So many people are woke and know exactly what's going on, but at the same time, it hasn't changed. Why doesn't it never change?
Because it's actually still something quite recent, if you think about it. Actually, when was Windrush? Like 70s, no? When was it? 70s, right?
Bruv.
So which means that actually you've only had about like 50 years in a country that is absolutely not yours, coming from the absolute bottom to get somewhere. And then not only that, then the Africans came even after, which means you're playing from far behind. We've still got a lot of catching up to do. And that is why we cannot actually really go too ham on black men and too ham on black women. We need to be a bit more forgiving and understand we are catching up with centuries of other people already being ahead in the race. Because we're not in our land, we're not in our countries. So when we get to these places, the black community in general is more likely to be living in the worst places, which means that we will have less likely to have access to great education. We have less opportunities. We are still probably dealing with a lot of stuff that we shouldn't be dealing with at this point, the traumas, this, that. So it's a cycle that we're trying to break out of, but it doesn't help.
Yeah, but we live in a time in a time in history where we are living in the age of the internet and information, bruv. You have no excuse to be ignorant now.
But
do you get what I'm saying? Nah, it ain't, bruv. It ain't. Because those times, listen, let me just say this. The time of, you're talking about the Windrush and the Africans came over after and blah, blah, blah. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have access. They didn't know what, if you was here, you didn't know what was going on in Detroit. You didn't know.
I'll explain something.
But now we do know.
We don't know because you know what happened with COVID? Do you know what happened with COVID?
Bro,
in my
don't
school,
say that
wait,
word.
let me explain. Oh, with COVID, you can't say COVID.
Oh my God, this
with
girl is dumb.
CVID. Why wasn't it on the rules?
Oh my days, go on.
With CVID, yeah. What it highlighted especially is in the less privileged areas, the BAME group, they were the ones that were struggling the most because at home they did not have laptops or access to the internet, one. And then two, going on the internet and learning and getting information in itself is a skill. When did the internet
come out, bruv?
It does. It's not about when.
It is when.
It's not about when it came out. It's when.
How can you talk about something that happened we was on lockdown for what, a year? Bro, how long was the internet out before that?
And how many people have access to the internet? That's the whole point. The point is not to act like everybody has this.
What?
Trust me.
Bro.
You know,
you can go to McDonald's and use free Wi-Fi, bruv. What are you talking about?
Okay, and you're
so how do you not have access to the internet, bro?
Okay.
You have access to internet in libraries, McDonald's, the gym, bruh. There's loads of outlets you can use free internet.
Can I comment on this?
Yeah, go on.
So in America, a lot of this stuff came from America, right? And so let me like run through it. We had the best shows in the 70s and 80s, the Cosby Show. When I was growing up, if you like even early 2000s, if you weren't going to a HBCU, you were trash, right? Like it was they were wearing the shirts. It was a totally different vibe. And it started with Flavor of Love, with Flavor Flav and that show. And then all of this stuff started like 10 years ago. And now you have Lizzo and Megan Thee Stallion, all these people, and the white people, they celebrate her, but you will never see a white woman in media that looks like her. And so I feel like we took this bait as they think it's empowerment, all these different things, but literally coming up, the only thing we saw on TV were educated black people on those sitcoms, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and like a strong father, strong family, talking about real issues. And now look at what's on when you see black people on TV. So, and like, it was a totally different vibe. So it's not about CVID or like all these other things. Yes, they're there, but the sitcom, I mean, you would cry because of what they were talking about, racism, right? Like Carlton and Will, they like were arrested and fought back.
I remember that episode. I remember that episode. Yeah.
You don't see that anymore. Yeah. All you see is Lizzo and all these housewives.
All you see now is rappers. What rappers are doing, bruh. You go on Instagram, go on any of these very popular pages. All you see is what jewelry rappers are buying from Icebox.
But
that's all you see, bro. And listen, I'm not saying it like I think I'm better than anyone. I wear a chain, yeah, boom. I never said I'm better than anyone. But once your eyes are open, it's open. I know that this is crap, and this is why I was saying now I'm at the stage where I can make friends with anyone. bro, you could see me walking down the street with him, even though we look completely different. But back in the day, my mindset was just like the typical black guy. You walk in, oh, I can't be around no one that ain't like me. And I don't rate them. And the problem is a lot of us still have that mindset now. And they, even if into their old age, they still have that mindset, bro.
But do you think that the black community is at fault for that? Or do you think, because, you know, we're speaking about all these things, but let's not forget who owns the media.
Yeah,
Let's not forget
it's
who owns
social
these-
engineering.
So no,
Yeah.
it's indoctrination. People are trying to push a certain narrative down minorities' throats so that we start believing certain things about each other and we reinforce it within ourselves.
Yeah,
Do you
absolutely.
understand?
Absolutely.
So I think I get that. I get that, you know, we should stop reinforcing these things within our community, but let's not carry all the blame. Like, we as minorities weren't even able to make it up to these certain places at certain points in time because there were so many barriers there that didn't even allow us. Like, how many black owned newspapers that are mainstream out there, like, do we know about?
No.
Yeah, but nobody's thinking about that.
No,
Nobody's
but I understand.
Hold on.
But
No one in school is thinking about it. They're thinking, I want to play football. I want to do music. Everybody wants to do music. Everybody.
That's because what they see. That's what they see.
Okay, but
Yeah, but this is because we don't see the depiction, just like the Cosby Show and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
No,
all
we
we see is rappers with all these girls twerking everywhere, and then you see now it has evolved into women actually objectifying themselves.
Yeah.
WAP. So.
But isn't that
it gets
across
to a
to
point where it's
all isn't that across to all cultures? Because I think like we are living in the Western world, so it's not just amongst black people; it's amongst white people too.
Yeah,
I think.
it is. It does cross boundaries, but it has destroyed the black communities, especially black communities in the West, the worst. Like, there's no comparison. Do you get what I'm saying? Every negative thing out there is associated to black people. Every negative thing.
Yeah. And that's why
and that's the truth.
I think it would be very responsible, instead of saying, oh, black girls have attitude. No, explain. Black girls, you're likely to have more attitude because of X, Y, and Z. Black men, you're more likely to be doing these things that are negative because of X, Y, and Z, instead of blaming, because you cannot get people to have accountability for things that they don't even know about. Teach people more about themselves. Teach them more about where they come from, and they will know. Do you know what I mean? And I think that the problem with the black community and why there's so much confusion is because we are still trying to find ourselves in a place that is nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
We need to go back to our roots and understand, where do we come from? What actually drives us? What sets our souls on fire? Because the black community, no matter where you are in the world, we all share a similar experience, which is a feeling of almost rejection. Even in your own continent, there's a feeling of rejection because the colonizer came.
In Portugal, right? Would you say that it's a commonplace thing where black guys who kind of have that stereotype of like a criminal or thug or street guy, do they do well with women in Portugal? Do you see them like with the best looking, with like a lot of times you see them with very good looking women in Portugal?
No.
No, not really, innit?
Yeah.
It's actually the successful black man that can get the
So they're
fine
right.
babes.
So it's the educated guy, the one that's a doctor, lawyer. They usually do the best.
Yeah,
They with
yeah.
the bad bees, yeah.
The gentleman black man is the one that can have access to like the finer babe, especially in terms of white women as well.
Okay, so okay, you lot amongst your friends, you two, you was back home in Portugal, yeah. Let's exclude like the older generation or your family or whatever, people that will judge you and tell you off, yeah. If you was to say, oh, let's even say you was to bring me there, yeah, and I was fully and I was fully the stereotype I look like, yeah, teeth, chain, tats, everything, yeah. How would your friends respond?
But
honestly,
but in my area, there's a lot of guys like you, so it doesn't.
And do guys like me do well with the ladies?
Yeah.
So they do like guys that look a stereotype.
He's got some self-interest here. He's trying to go to Portugal.
No. I'm trying to make a point.
Kind of, but it depends, because I think that Portugal, it's not very much like the UK where everything is so integrated. So you may do well with a certain kind of type, but you will definitely not do well with another type. It's almost like a 50-50. You know, there's still a lot of like separation in that sense. And Portugal, I think because of like colonization and the relationship that Portuguese have with Africa, there's higher expectations for a black man to be kind of accepted into a certain part of the society.
So you're saying a black man would have to be very successful to be accepted in those certain corners?
In certain in a lot of corners, first of all.
In most corners.
In a lot of corners, unless it's like a community of in Portugal that is used to having
the blacks.
What
do you think about it? You look like you want to object. Go on.
No, I just wanted to go back a little bit because I think like in Portugal, there's not this culture of like bad bees and stuff. It's not the same as here. It's different. I think like it's big cities like, I don't know, London, like Miami, whatever. I think that's like that culture is there, like the bad bee culture.
Yeah.
You ain't got the Instagram models in Portugal.
Yeah, you do, but it's not the same as here.
It's not.
Like I think here there's a lot
prevalent.
of like focus on social media and like how you look and let me go to the club and be in the VIP, like stuff like that.
So you lot don't do that there.
No,
not as much.
So what you lot
like
do?
it's completely
It's different, isn't it?
yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Like you don't go to the club and you know what, just to show that like I'm a bad boy, whatever, like I'm gonna go and get a 1K table. Like
It's not image focused.
No, it's
yeah,
not.
no.
It's more.
Look, black,
No.
I just want to say something about black people. Listen, we're the strongest people that ever existed on this planet. Like we had Frederick Douglass, who was a slave, who taught himself how to read and write, and had the people who hated him paying him to go across the country and tell them how bad slavery was. We had the Harlem Renaissance. We had black men going to Harvard in the 19th century. Some of the best political philosophers come from West Africa, come from the United States of America. We had a woman, Rosa Parks, that like some Dr. Strange stuff say, you know what? I don't want segregation anymore, and just sat down. Like, we really have to take accountability for this because Haiti defeated the French Empire. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I mean, these are the craziest things that have happened in history. No lie, no cap.
Yeah.
So how can we sit here and say that, oh, we're weak or we're this or we're that? Like, like literally from a science, like a historical perspective, the things that we've done is unparalleled.
Yeah.
So why do we think that we can't do something? We need to change this. Yes, racism is here, but that never stopped us, and people were willing to die for it. So what are we willing to do now? Like, so racism exists, but people were willing. Listen, one more thing. Malcolm X, convict, criminal. My guy went to Oxford and debated in the UK and debated these people and had them respect him. So we can do literally anything. So what? Like we have to take accountability. I'm tired of hearing about yes, racism is real 100%, but we have to do something. Like we can't just.
That's what I think. I think it gets to a point where talking about what happened. Oh, this is because of this, bro. Like at the end of the day, as I said, the internet's there. There's no excuse to be ignorant. You know, there's forces working against us. We know that all this media is deliberately working against us. So why do we keep fueling it? Like why do we keep glorifying the people? Like bruh, I don't even want to say people's names, but at the end of the day, it's just like if you're not a certain type of guy, no one don't care in our community. And what happens is a lot of guys that do not fall into those certain categories, they feel alienated, they feel like they don't fit in, the women are not interested, the women that they feel like they qualify for don't feel like they're good enough for them. So then they go and date outside. And I've seen it, bro. I remember when I was in the States, I was in college. Bro, I'm a big black guy, bro. Like, and I'm from Southeast London, bro. Like, I was born in King's College Hospital. Anyone that knows, bruv. Yeah? Bro, like, I was told by a black chick that I wasn't black enough. Me, you know.
Oh.
Like, and I was just like, right. And listen, this is no disrespect to anybody that, you know, has lived a different type of, like a black guy that's lived a different type of life, because now I have the knowledge and I understand that it doesn't, because I lived a rougher lifestyle doesn't make me more black than the next man, bruv. I understand that at this stage in development. Do you get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as a black guy who's gone through all these kind of rubbish trials and tribulations and been indoctrinated to believe all this crap about ourselves and everybody else, and then you come out the other end of it, and then you try to make something of your life, and then some black girl comes and tells you you're not black enough, and oh, I can only imagine you being with a girl that's not black. That's very disheartening, bruv. And that will push you to go and do somebody else from outside your race.
Did she
Do you get what I'm
elaborate?
saying?
Did she say why?
Just the way I am, just the way I talk.
What did you say, mate?
Bruv, I don't know about that. I probably said bruv.
You all right, mate?
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
You're
And
trying
it's
to
just
fit
like
in.
it's not even trying to fit in. I'm me in it. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I just feel like a lot of guys feel like they may not be allowed to just be themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? Like my guy here, he's saying he likes like other things that may be perceived by a lot of black chicks as alternative and not very desirable. This is the real thing. Like, bro, like when I talk to, there's times when I talk to girls, and listen, I'm very smart when it comes to talking to girls. I'm very astute to know the things that girls are not interested in, bruv. Yeah, which they will find to be nerdy and that's weird. Like, oh, you're a geek. Do you know what I'm saying? And it kind of gets to a point where it's like you can't even be yourself. Whereas like, and I'm not advocating for IR dating. I'm just saying my experience. I'll come across non-black girls that, you know, they'll see it as fun or funny or something new to get into or experience. And it's just like, why is it that a lot of times our community is so one-dimensional? If you're not this thing, it's like you're weird. And I don't really, you know, it's sad, innit, at the end of the day. Go on.
Yeah, just to like connected to that point, I feel like just a scenario. So being in London, I'm Portuguese. I connect a lot with like Spanish people, Italian, because we have like similar cultures. And I feel like maybe like connected to what you're saying, like you guys, like, sorry, I don't want to like anyone
Now
to
say
take
what you
offense
gotta say, man.
because
Just
I'm not black, but you could, as you were saying, like you guys can come together and instead of because I'm Nigerian and I'm Jamaican, I'm Ghanaian, like you could come together, like I don't know how to say, like
unify.
Unify. Because at the end of the day, like I don't have like many Portuguese friends, but I have a lot of like Spanish and Italian friends, and we are not from the same country, but because we have similar cultures, like we kind of like come together. So yeah, just to give a bit of an example. Sorry.
Nah, let me just do the super chats really, really quickly. Are you gonna bring them on the screen as well? All right, cool. All right, cool. Let me run through the super chat. And while I'm going through the super chats, please hit the like button and add more super chats on top, bruv. Yeah? We're still not at 300 likes yet. You lot are really doing me a disservice. I don't know what you're doing. You're just watching, enjoying, writing comments, you know, dissing me, dissing everybody. You know what I mean? And then, boom, just sitting there, bruv. Do something, yeah? Make sure you support. All right, big up to... Where we at? Bro, I'm reading some small writing, bruv. Big up to NSX for the super chat. He says, question, does clothing, speech, hair, and music help identify someone's culture, or is it skin color? I'll ask Denalva that question.
Clothes, hair, and all that. Yeah, it will help.
Clothing, speech, hair, and music.
My mom's white, but you definitely will know she's Angolan. So her culture is African. What she looks like has nothing to do with how she kind of relates to her culture, actually. And she's blonde.
So you're saying the skin color, her, like the way she looks, has nothing to do with it?
Not really. It depends on where you grow up, and that's why I say sometimes interracial dating is not about the race; it's more about the cultural, links,
values as well, like principles, habits.
Absolutely. All right, big up to the UK Economist for the super chat. He says, what your female guest is actually saying is that an educated black man has a high standard that she is not accustomed to and can't keep said gentleman. I guess he's talking to you still.
He's definitely talking to me, Stone.
Yep.
Is that you, baby? UK Economist.
Yeah, UK Economist said that to you, fam.
That's good.
Well, you gonna eat that, yeah?
I'll eat it. Super chats.
Yeah, eat that next, man. Next, eat that, bro.
Chop on well.
Anyway, young Lex. Big up young Lex for the super chat. Why do black women always ignore us during school? They all picked biracial boys over us too. Once black men came into fashion, like 015, they all changed their tone. Ooh, is that true? Because I'll be real with you. Like, a lot of my mixed race dons, yeah, they do very well. They do very well with black, mixed race, and white, yeah. And even now, like, but I think dark skinned guys, we do be doing it now. But there was a stage when it was all about, I want the boy with the green eyes. You see, you're all laughing because you know what I'm talking about. But what do you lot think about that? Do you think that's real or?
Me personally, I'm not attracted to, no offense to anybody, but that's not my type. Like mixed race, like, I don't know. Mixed race is not my type.
No?
No.
I think it's a weird one. It's like, back in the day when you were in school, especially in London, I don't know if it was like that anywhere else. It's not cool to be African. It was cool to be Jamaican.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
a lot of African people would claim to be Jamaican to fit in and stuff. I think it's just a cause of the times, a cause of the age range. Like, you're young, you're kind of, you're going through all this stuff. You want to fit in, you want to da-da-da-da-da.
Girls wanted pretty boys, man. That's what it was. In school, the girls wanted pretty boys in the younger ages. Then they want guys like me when they grow up a little bit and they know what's really good. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about it, my bro? Beard gang, what do you think about it, bruh?
Bro, I completely agree, to be honest. Growing up, it was the same. All the girls wanted the light-skinned boys or the mixed race boys. Like I had a very mixed upbringing. I grew up on an estate in Tottenham, but I went to school in Essex. So I had the best of both worlds, literally. So I'll be back home, all black girls on the estate. That's all I knew. But then I go to school, all white girls. And I found, especially growing up, white girls weren't interested in black boys back then, especially in that time period. But I guess as things have progressed, the culture's changed. And you know what it is as well, yeah? I think there's two different types of culture that people talk about. There's like urban culture, and then there's culture in terms of where you're from. Like where I work especially, it's a very white-dominated environment. But if I see the black guy, we may not click on the urban culture level, like in terms of like music, dress sense, this, that, and the other. But we could dress completely different, be interested in different things, but we kind of we look at each other and there's that nod.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's two different types people talk about.
Yeah, man. All you girls wanted light-skinned guys with green eyes.
But I think, again, that's a like London thing.
That is a London thing.
It's an urban culture.
It's an urban thing.
It's urban culture. And I think it's the same worldwide. It's like that urban culture that people connect with, and you're seen as cool if you're down with that type of culture.
So why is that so much like mixed race versus black?
What do you
That's
mean?
a good question.
Why is there more?
Like, why is there so like all these like discussion like about mixed race are better looking than black? Like what we just talked about, because
it's a discussion with women, I think, mainly because of the fact that black women often get overlooked for mixed race light skin girls.
And I think that's true. Like, I remember in school, the mixed race girls, the light skinned girls, they had the monopoly. Like, unless you was like a dark skinned girl that was really, really hot, like obviously, like, you're a bad bee in it. But like a lot of times, the mixed race girls was getting more of the attention, and that's just the honest truth about it. I think that a lot of times the darker skinned girls really glow up, and then it kind of seesaws. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I think everything seesaws. But I want to ask you, before I move on to the next super chat, what do you think about the whole light skinned mixed race guys was getting all the girls? What do you think about it?
It was definitely in the US. It was a lot of like, I'm Puerto Rican. I mixed with that. I mixed with like different like Dominican and stuff like that. So I mean, it was definitely a thing growing up. I think there's been more of like a natural movement lately, but that was definitely a thing. Being light skinned, if you like, I got made fun of, and they made fun of Africans too, like African booty scratcher, like all that stuff. Like, things have changed, but people were really
Afro beats is called. That's the change, Afro beats, bruv. And piano. I used to call it amp piano. It's Amma piano. Yeah, man, because just like you said, nah, man, them times there, secondary school, being Nigerian, nah, bruv. And then when I was in the States playing, nah, bruv.
You know what was peak as well? He had big lips back when you were in school.
Yeah, big.
And now it's a trend.
Bruv, nah, man. And it's kind of sad.
But this is why I said that I think it's a London thing, because back home, there's no discussion like, you are Angolan, or you are Mozambican, or you are like lighter skin, darker skin.
Do
you know what's weird about that? Can I just say, you was going to say something, I'll let you. Do you know one funny thing, what I noticed, like, before I became the monster that I am, and I was still in my development stages,
Oh, wow.
like, I noticed that a lot of I used to attract Portuguese girls. Like, if I came across Portuguese girls, they seemed to be like naturally attracted. And then when I started to look deeper into it, like the ones that were with black guys, those tended to be the black guys that were very African looking. Like, I don't know why that is, but they were the hard face. They weren't no pretty boys. These were hard face, guys, bro. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And I don't know. What do you not think
Yeah,
about
this is
that?
what I think from experience. Like, if I'm thinking back home, like I think darker skin or more like African would get more attention than lighter skin.
I think that's because the relationship with black people in mainland Europe is different to the relationship with black people here.
Yeah,
because you've got a lot of immigrants that come across. So like even when I go to different parts in Europe, you see a lot more African people.
But I don't know about that because, like, I think that mainland Europe is kind of tricky for a black person, but in particular with Portugal, I think it's just because Portugal has had a really close connection in some sense with the colonies. So I think perhaps like once certain black people do settle, it maybe becomes a bit more normal. However, I still feel a lot of racism in Portugal, but I think it's a tricky one. It's different. But when it comes to mixed race in Portugal, I feel like the mixed race girls, yes, mixed race boys seem a bit weaker. Mulatu is a bit like he's not as strong.
Yeah,
that's what it is, isn't it?
All right, let me move on to the next super chat. I appreciate you lot. Where we at? All right, big up NSX for another super chat. It says, mods get us settle, mate. They power tripping in the chat a bit. Take the criticism and be better. You lot, yeah. Anyway, big up Young Lex for the super chat. Black women the most loyal with a whole divestment movement. Ooh.
With a whole what?
Divestment. Because and that's actually a good point. There's a movement pretty much on social media called divestors. And they're basically black women that are like, we're done with black men are trash, we're gonna go and get us some, non-black men, let's open our options, we don't need black men, they're dogs, they're trash, they're weak, they're lazy, they're broke, they're they're not just doing it, but they have to trash black men on the way out. Do you get what I'm saying? Like with a lot of vile venom, like, do you get what I'm saying? So what do you lot think about that? Have you lot ever come across any women that pertain to that kind of way of thinking?
No.
That way of thinking is trash, by the way.
Yeah, it is trash, but there's a lot of men that kind of do that. So why are you guys surprised when a woman does it?
Oh, I'm not surprised.
That in general, like, why is everyone surprised when a woman group does it? But it consistently happens in men community.
The one thing I will say, again, I'm going to tell you lot, get the likes up on the video. I'm going to say some real ish right now. Yeah. The reality of that and why it's kind of like, I don't think black guys really find it serious with this whole divestment thing, because just like the young lady said, and she was a black woman, she said it herself, black women, unfortunately, unfairly, or however you want to look at it, are not seen as the standard of beauty. They're not. So to have a movement where you're trying to gravitate to men who have deliberately made sure you're not the standard of beauty and try to use them as a weapon or some kind of, oh yeah, look, they want us and you lot don't want us, is kind of ridiculous at the end of the day. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they have reinforced this idea. All these stereotypes that we're talking about that black women have been reinforced by non-black media. Do you get what I'm saying? The non-black media has propped up the blonde, blue eyes woman as the standard of beauty. So like to come back and then say, oh yeah, no, we can get men outside. Like, really, can you really though?
That
really?
That beauty standard though, is that just a curse of living in the West?
Yeah, that is.
I think that beauty standards across the world, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
It's across the world, bro.
No,
I think it's changed.
I don't know
how many African people, countries, whatever, how many people do we know back home that are still bleaching their skin and,
I think it's a curse of the West though.
It is a curse of the West.
It is,
but
it is, but it is there.
It's embedded,
Bro, there's bleaching their skin in the Caribbean islands, they're bleaching their skin in the African continent. That says it all. We're not even talking about UK and USA.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, kind of. But I don't know. Like,
it's a tough one, but you have to.
I get it. That happens, but I'm not gonna lie. You go to Africa, and I'm speaking specifically even with Angolans. Like the Angolan black woman is beautiful, and actually she's quite praised. Go to South Africa as well. Like a lot of the because obviously they still say like they still have a race issues, but a lot of like adverts and a lot of these things actually feature very beautiful black women. I think obviously when you are in the West and you're out of your home, you are going to stand out like a soul. Famine is not always going to be in a good way. Go back home. Go to your country of origin or whatever. Just experience it for 1 week, and you'll see how your life will change.
I agree. I think a lot of times when I've heard black women complain and say, "Oh yeah, these black guys, they don't want us, they don't like black women, blah blah blah," I'm like, bro, okay, maybe you should go to a black country then. If you really do want to be with a black man, you can. If you really want to, do you get what I'm saying? But like, and then it comes to dating requirements. Oh, are you only trying to go after guys that are over 6 foot? Are you trying to only go after guys that are making 6 figures? Are you only, because then you're kind of narrowing down your market and your potential.
Can I say something?
Go on.
So basically, like, back to the beauty standards, like a lot of white women are now adopting black women features like the big lips, the big bum, the big, like the hourglass shape. So how can we say that the back off? How can we say
bare Instagram workouts, bro? Every time I have to train somebody, I want a big butt. Like, come on, bruv. Like, what about the whole body, bruv? Like, you get me? But anyway, go on.
Yeah, so how can we say that the beauty standard is still blonde, white, blue eyes? Because all these white women are adopting these ethnic women like features.
Yeah, but that's now, and that's only through social media. Like, if we're talking about Western beauty standards, that's happened through colonization. It's happened through us coming here, because we can't have a life now in our country when we were fine before anybody walked in. Like, these are things that have been so deep rooted for centuries, that have like been drilled into people's minds. Like, people's bloodlines have been diluted because the white man has come into your land and done what he's done. And on top of that, like, it's just crazy. Like, I think, yes, now we know we're seeing, but all of this stuff is all celebrity stuff. It's not common people stuff. Like, common people stuff is real trauma. It's real, like, generational pain that your bloodline has gone through, that you might be able to connect with and understand. All this, going to get lipo and BBL, and you need to want to make your lips bigger.
And at the end of the day, there's black women that are doing BBLs. So then it kind of defeats the whole thing.
Exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No, but it's not about the body type necessarily that we're discussing. Is the
no, but
skin tone.
no, because Iman was talking about non-black women trying to basically emulate black women. But then if black women are going to do BBLs, who are they emulating?
No, they just emulating.
Emulating myself.
The ultimate self.
That's so mad.
It's the
Listen,
thing.
you lot are tapped. That's it. Let me move on. Let me move on. All right, big up Daniel for the super chat. Good show, King, as always. Big up the panel. Big up to you, my brother. Appreciate that. Hey,
That's
big
nice.
up to Ray Carl. Unfortunately, many women in our community like thugs. Who objects to that?
We like the bad boy. Bad boy is different from the thug.
And I think that's women, period.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just
I knew
women
you was
in
gonna say
general.
that. I've got a rebuttal, but carry on. Go on, say it. Say it. Go on.
I think that's women in general. It's not just black women. And I think also like age range, like you're not gonna ask a 40-year-old woman if she likes a thug, but a 20-year-old would.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bad boys are
Priorities
different, though.
are
They're
different.
different. Exactly, my bro. Go on.
Listen, every woman wants a bad boy, but some women they want the neurosurgeon who's on point.
He could also be the bad boy.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
He is a bad boy.
They want Top Gun. They want the Air
Gunner.
Force officer. He's killing. They want the Navy SEAL. They killing people. They shooting people. So every woman wants a bad boy, but they're different. So our bad boys are different than the other women's bad boys.
Yes.
I think it's more they just want an alpha male. That's
Yeah, we
all it
want
is.
like a protector.
Yeah, but they're
if you're the main doctor on the ward, like
Right.
you're not a bad boy, but you're the alpha. Like all the women in that ward, all the nurses, they want.
But
you
if
to be the
we
man.
but the thing is, if we compare it by community to communities of women by communities of women, yeah, their perception has in our community, especially in the West, maybe not so much back home in our like our home countries, but in the West where we are polluted with all these kind of different ideas and stereotypes, like the black women in these communities have a warped perception of what masculinity is. They see it as the drug dealer, the driller, the trapper, bro. Because it's reinforced over and over and over and over. And you've been watching it from when you was little, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's a hard thing to break out of to all of a sudden, oh yeah, you know what? I need a teacher. Bruv, you've been dating drillers your whole life, and now all of a sudden you want to teach her about it. And let's say you even do that, bro. You don't really get that same adrenaline rush with him. So you're really not going to be happy. You're always going to feel like you're settling. And unless this guy is a super Tyrone, you're going to feel like you're settling with that guy, even if he makes 6 figures. Because a lot of these girls talk about 6 figures, but some 6 figures guys have got women that are still cheating on them, bruv. So that's not the that's why when guys try to talk about, oh yeah, you have to be this rich, bruv. No, you don't, bruv. Yeah,
You just gotta be about it, and that means that,
what does that mean?
I told you this before.
Nah, tell everyone. Don't tell me. Tell everyone.
I think about like the ideal partner, I always kind of paint a scenario in my head of if the world was to end tomorrow.
Delusion.
If the world was to end tomorrow, how would me and you survive? What are the skills that you can bring to the table that I don't have?
Yeah.
How good? And this is probably
You mean how will he keep you alive?
No, how will we keep each other alive?
You're not gonna keep him alive.
I've got my
If it
own
turned
skills.
into Mad Max time, yeah. Let me be real with you. If it turned into Mad Max time, yeah, you'd be in danger, bruv. You'd be in serious danger, bruv. You need a guy to be your protector. That's what it boils down to, bruv.
Yeah, and he goes. That's what I'm saying. So that is.
No, you said we will protect. No, you're not.
No, how
you can't
will
do
we
nothing.
survive? Because for me to even be with you and for you to be my protector, we have to even have good communication. Otherwise, you're going to be protecting me. I'm missing out on the
he needs to be able to ready. He needs to be ready to murk anyone that comes to attack you and violate.
He needs to.
It's not nah. It is.
No, it's not just that, because you don't just. If the world was to end tomorrow, it means that if it's just me and him in the world, at least be strong enough to climb a tree. If I can't do it,
If he's strong enough to murk people, I'm sure he can climb a tree.
yeah. So I'm just saying, it's not about actually having to murk somebody. It's about survival.
I gave you a clear scenario. If we was in Mad Max times where it's just wild, like anything goes, you're in serious danger.
So-
but I'll survive, bruv,
Okay.
on my own.
So, for example, let me explain Doctor here, who says he's 5'7" and everything like that. I wouldn't be looking at his skill to be able to keep us surviving in the world as for him to go climb a tree or to beat somebody up. But I do know that if anything went wrong, he'd be able to save us. He will know exactly which vein to cut if anybody come to attack us. It's about having skills that mean you ensure your survival goes a bit further than the next person. It's not all about strength. It's not all about this.
In a real one, yeah. And I'm not putting down what you're saying. I agree with you, but what I'm saying is that on a primitive level, on a straight basic level, yeah, is Mad Max time. You ever watched Mad Max? Have any of you ever watched
Is it
that?
like The Purge?
No.
Even The Purge. Let's take it to The Purge. If it was Purge time, yeah, they were just like, oh, let's just purge. Everyone can purge, no law, bruv. Who's more in danger, me or you? You, right? So
Why?
in the
It depends on whose
Why?
list you're on.
Why?
why are you more in danger than I am? Because you're weaker than me, physically.
And this is what I'm trying to explain as well, just because we have this conversation all the time. Let's add context and let's add then.
You're physically, biologically
you
weaker than
don't
me. I'm
just
faster
win,
than you and stronger than you.
but
I've
you
got more
don't-
endurance
you
than you.
don't-
I can go longer than you.
Okay, what if I'm better at setting
Maybe she's
traps?
smarter than you.
Yeah.
Maybe, but let's talk about what we do know for sure. There's no point in talking about maybes.
Wow. But if you don't know for sure that you'd be able to survive it better than me, that's
Maybe
the
she
point.
I've got a
hide better than
yeah,
you.
but if
physically-
you're logical and being realistic, I have a better fighting chance than you do. Just by
Physically.
by what? Just by biology, by science.
Yeah, what kind of, but not really, because it doesn't all rely on your physical. Doctor here would be able to
What?
survive quite well actually in the purge, because all he's got to do is hide behind the door and you'll be able to see this person is coming. I cut him on this vein on the this vein neck and they'll pass out like that because he's smart, because he
Bro.
understands. Whereas you be wanting to
Have
punch
you-
him and you don't know what
No,
he's got
no,
a gun and
that's
shoot you or
not
something.
You got a
talking
point, you know.
That's not talking about, that means because I think I'm strong, that means I'm going to punch. I'm just saying a fighting chance, bro. I think if you was to ask 100 people, yeah, who would you rather want on your team in the purge or protecting you in a purge? Would you want someone that was more physically capable, straight up, just like stronger, faster, tougher, can take more pain, blah, blah, blah? Or would you want somebody who's less? Like, it's a straight
I
question.
would probably want somebody that is less because we're more likely to go into hiding. You that is a big guy, you'll be going out there, you'll be the first one to die.
Bruv.
On top of that, you're black. You know what horror movies tell you. You die first.
It's calm.
You always die first.
It's calm. Good luck.
The
You're
smart
gonna need
ones
it.
survive.
You're gonna need it. I never said that because you're strong, you're gonna be stupid and running around with like a headless chicken. I'm just saying you've got a better fighting chance. But good luck to you, innit? And your chicken. Anyway, so yeah. And I'm smart too. Yeah. Anyway, big up to Big T for the super chat. He says, "What are the benefits of legal marriage?" This is not the one for that. Man. That's another day. But big up to you, my brother. Big up Daniel for the super chat. He says, "To White Jumper." That's you. A public video that King reacted a while ago, the black women and even the Latina chicks said they would prefer criminals and scammers. It's not cap. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I remember. I've done loads of videos, like reaction videos like that, where girls just flat out say they want a scammer.
Over what?
9 to 5.
Maybe because he makes more money.
That's what they care about, just money.
It's security, yeah.
Or maybe because the way he processes his thoughts is a bit more advanced because he's dealing with more danger, more pressure, more amounts of money, which means he's good at maths. Transferable skills.
The MP.
Who would you prefer? A scammer who makes I don't know. Let's say he makes let's say he makes 1,000 a week. Yeah. No. Let's say he makes 1,000 every couple days. Yeah. Or a 9 to 5 a 9 to 5 guy who makes 2,500 a month. Who would you pick?
The scammer.
The scammer. Why?
Because when he's in jail, I can look after the money.
Look after them. The money will be gone. The police will take the money. What are you talking about?
We'd be smarter than that.
You hope he would be
smarter than that. What you
mean?
mean?
Hope he would be smarter than that, and also he'd be in prison.
I'll stay loyal until he comes out.
No, you wouldn't.
I'll just look after the money.
That's backwards.
That is backwards.
Just kidding.
Backwards.
That is wow. That's shocking. I thought you would say something different, but you didn't. Well done. And that will be a clip on the KingRichez channel. Yeah? I'm not even gonna ask no one else because now they know what to say. So let's move on, bruv. You smashed it. Anyway, you smashed it. All right. Big up NSX for the super chat. Respect Riches dropping fact on fact today. Come on, I do it every day, not just today, bro. Come on, man. Respect me, bro. Come on, man. But safe, I appreciate you, man. Big up Ray Carl for another super chat. It says, problem with our sisters, they love the negative side of the community. Rappers, players is what they love. If you're a black guy who not into streets or player, these girls don't want you. Just like this one.
I never said that.
You just picked a scammer over
but I
a
never
9 to
said
5
I wanted
guy.
A player. Nah, I'd rather have a scammer than a player.
Oh, so it's okay if he's a criminal, but if he's a
be
player,
criminal,
that's bad.
But not a criminal on my heart.
Plus define criminal because I'm not gonna lie, there's certain crimes that come with good intention and go for good reasons, and plus a system.
Why? You see, this is what I'm talking about. We make excuses for criminals in our community.
Like Robin Hood.
Why, bruv?
I would definitely.
That is not a real story. That's a fable, bruv.
Like sending them like love letters while they're in jail. That's kind of romantic, no? Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh wow.
All right, let me ask you.
Are you holding it down for your man if he's in jail?
Let me ask all of you lot a real question, yeah? Let me ask you lot a real question, yeah? Raise your hand, yeah, if you've dated a criminal in your life.
But what's a criminal like?
What do you mean? What is a criminal? You see?
Define a criminal.
What is a criminal? Find Google.
Someone like what type of
we're gonna do it properly.
Someone that makes their money
We're gonna do it properly. We're gonna do it properly.
Like what type of crime? Like,
bruv, criminal. They don't matter.
I've
bruv.
never dated a drug dealer. God forbid bad thing. I'm so sorry.
Oh my
That's
god.
bad karma towards me.
Wow. What is defined as a criminal? Okay.
Oh, I meant like what type of crime?
Don't worry. Nah, I've got you. Don't worry. Cornell University has got you. Yeah. www.law.cornell.edu says criminal is a popular term used for a person who has committed a crime or has been illegally convicted of a crime. Criminal also means being connected with a crime. It seems they keep saying crime quite a lot.
But then you could be a murderer or you could be put into jail because of weed possession. You know what I mean? Like there's two
exactly.
different.
That's why I asked like what type of crime.
Okay,
Two different kind of.
Let me quickly say something here.
This is why men are always.
Hold on.
I was gonna say
Listen.
something anyway. Forget it.
Listen, I've been in a long-term relationship with someone that's gone jail, stayed with them throughout jail, came out of jail, still stayed with them, whatever. And obviously that ended because there's certain things that you go through in life here that make you realize what you want. Do you know what I mean? And what I realized with the fast life, yes, nice. Sometimes, you know, your man is making a quick couple racks over here in a day or that. But for me personally, I don't know about anyone else. I want to build a legacy. Like I want to build a dynasty. And with that, it takes patience. And I think nowadays we don't have the patience. We all want quick money, quick lifestyle, this and that and the other, because it's so glamorized. You're not going to build a legacy. You're not going to build generational wealth like that. And it's just, and I think ultimately what we need to understand with women, we want security. No matter the method, we'll be able to overlook certain things, whether they're right or wrong, right? But it's security, it's financial security, it's protection.
But that's
it's
a problem.
leadership.
If you're just like, I don't mind if it's right or wrong.
No,
that's a huge error.
Of course, but I'm saying just on a general perspective, this is what the woman's mentality is like.
But look, dating criminals is okay, right? So listen, Christine Lagarde is the head of the European Union Central Bank, and she's a convicted felon, right? The Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, they pay. I have friends at these investment banks, and they take the fine, they take the hit because they can afford it. So they're the white collar. So look, the other women, they're choosing the white collar criminals. They're choosing the scammers that are working in venture capital firms. They're choosing the scammers that led to the inflation that's rocking the UK, right? So it's again, all women like scammers, all women like alpha males, right? But they choose different ones. Why do we choose the criminals that ain't making bread? Why are we choosing the scammers that ain't making bread? Because the other criminals, they got money.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it. But
well, look, for me, I'm 21, right? So my past had happened to me a lot throughout my youth. Like my experiences happened to me during a period of time where I was still growing and learning. Ultimately, this is of course not an excuse, but in that period of time, that's all we knew. Those were the environments we were around. Those were the type of people we were around. Now, you know, I'm still a baby, but I'm growing up and I'm understanding a lot of things. And it took me a while. I was in that relationship for almost 3 years. Do you know what I mean?
Did you love the excitement of danger? Was it an adrenaline rush being with that guy and not knowing what was going to happen next? Him going in and out of jail?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No, I think what it was for me is that I didn't understand at the time.
So there was no excitement being with him?
It's not about the excitement. What it was for me was that the way I understood an alpha male at the time and the characteristics they possessed is very different to the way I understand it now.
So there was no excitement there?
It's not... Okay, well,
it's
not about... No.
There
is a level of excitement. It's just like when women say... it's just like when women say a nice guy is boring. Is then the opposite when you're with a guy who does dangerous stuff. That's exciting.
That's why the same way an angelic woman is kind of boring. You needed to be a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets for a reason, because you need to play a good balance. You need to have excitement about you, and then you also need to have good intentions. So sometimes if you're working outside of the law, which would still make you a criminal, doesn't mean you got bad guy, you got bad intentions. That's why I said a lot of criminals have got transferable skills, and then they get to a point where they become above
excuses?
the law.
Stop making excuses, bro. No, bruv.
What did I make an excuse for?
You're making excuses. Oh, well, no, you know, he might be a bad person, doing bad stuff, but he could be a good... Why do we always talk that shit, bro? Like, yeah, but why? Yeah, but you don't make excuses for the guy that's 5'7". You don't make excuses for the guy that's 5'5" and say, well, he's short, but he might be a nice person. No, you just like, he's too short.
I just said that he would survive. I would rather be with him than to be with you at the end of the world.
Come on, bro. That is just crap. That's
still,
nothing.
You could choose better criminals, though.
Yeah.
Like, just choose better criminals.
Yeah, you want to choose the guy that's selling grass.
Choose the ones that are above the law.
Bro. Come on, bro. Like, bro, there's enough guys out there that are legit, that are making peas. You don't have to pick a criminal, bro. It's a choice because you know it's dangerous and it's an adrenaline rush being with them because you don't know what's gonna happen next.
So
it's like
if I happen to fall in love with a criminal, then so be it. If I happen to fall in love with a regular guy, so be it.
All you women, listen. This is my thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you see me. Yeah, I feel like this. Yeah. because it's kind of immature when you think about it, really and truly, like laughing and joking, ha ha ha. But when it gets real and you have a kid for one of these dudes and he goes to prison because he goes and murks someone and you ain't gonna see him anytime soon, and then it's you and that kid, then you're gonna be crying one day. You're gonna be in your house crying, thinking, "Raw, why did I do this, bro? This is stupid." And then you're gonna remember bouncing up and I'm not saying you lot, but I'm saying anybody that does that is gonna bounce up and down laughing right now, because there's loads of little girls out there that are running around with these kind of boys right now, sleeping with them raw. My man's shooting up the club. Next thing, she's having a kid for him, thinking it's still all good. Bro, do you know how many, like, bro, every time I come London, I see these couples, like these struggle couples, yeah, with a boy you can tell all he does is smoke all day, his lips all black, that he smoke. You know what I'm talking about, bro, yeah? And then he's just wearing them dirty tracksuits. You know them tracksuits with the bobbling, bro? He's wearing those, yeah? And then like, boom, the girls, like them skinny girls with the little puffer jacket, you know that little with the fur on it, bruv, and the jacket comes up to here, bruv, yeah? And she's wearing tracksuit as well, bruv. It might be bobbling as well, yeah? And then they're pushing her pram. And then the baby is in there, and I'm thinking that kid ain't got no chance, bro.
Yeah,
it's not funny, bruv.
It's real shit.
Do you get what I'm saying? Bare of my friends growing up went jail because they flipping parents were whatless, bro. So it's not funny, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care, bro. Like bruh. Like,
yeah, but it's not funny for you to always put it on the women. Those men that
I'm
are
not
doing
just
crime,
putting it on the
stop
women,
going
though.
for the young girls
I'm
that,
not just
that
putting it
are
on the
being
women, though.
agreeable, and then you murk their lives as well because you're traumatized.
But do you know
glorify
why? Do you know why I can? Do you know why I can put it on the women? Because the women choose in the first place.
But there's men
So
that glorify
no.
this
If you
behavior.
don't go with that guy, if you say if every black woman, let's just bring it to black women, yeah. I know that women outside the community do it as well, but we're talking about why do black men choose interracial dating, yeah? If every black woman or black girl was like, or it was a general consensus in the black community amongst the females, we do not date criminals. Guess what? The percentage of criminals would drop significantly. More black boys would be going into STEM degrees. But no, what do we have? Grown women laughing and joking and making excuses why, oh, he's a criminal, he might be murking people, but he might have a good reason and he might be a good guy. That's not good enough, bruv.
My sisters, you can date a criminal, just pick the right ones.
Wow.
And also make him transfer those skills to put them into good use. Bring your knowledge into the table, because if I have somebody that's a criminal who's got amazing skills, I'll be like, babe, do you know you can use this to do this? Be the rock in your man's world.
You just want to save someone, innit?
I don't mind. I can help. You know, not everybody's doing.
Why don't you help a good guy? A nice guy. Why don't
There's
you
a
help
difference
him?
between a nice and a good guy.
Good guy, nice guy, a guy that. Why don't you help one of those guys? Why do you need to help a criminal? He's already helping himself. He's helping people out of their money in their bank accounts. Why do you need to help him more?
I help a lot of nice guys. The only thing is, right now I don't want a relationship. But
so what are you doing? Why you don't want
into my life?
So what do you do when you're not wanting a relationship? You just date criminals?
I'm not dating anyone.
So why did you bring that into the equation that I'm not dating right now? What's that got to do with it?
No, I'm just saying, but I still help people. I still help men. I'm still helping a nice guy. Okay. Any man,
you're not helping no criminals either.
And any man that comes into my life, man or woman, you'll know that one thing that I'm about is elevating you, because me elevating you elevates me. We one hand washes the other, so I'm always helping.
Yeah, you can help them get the bank accounts. All right, so the next one, and all right, the next one. I've lost my place. Where are we at?
The criminals.
We've moved on from that. We know where you lot stand. It's all right. All right, big up to the UK economists. So I guess all those single parents who have sons committing crime chose good educated men instead of losers.
Say that again. He
said, so I guess all those single parents who have sons committing crime chose good educated men instead of losers.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Yeah, he's being sarcastic.
Well, you can come from, even just as a black boy, you can come from a good home and still go in the streets and join a gang, because it's not really about your parents. It's sometimes about your environment as well. So don't try and say UK economist.
I do agree with that, because I know a couple people that had their mum and dad and they still wanted the bad boy life. But that goes to, I would say that comes in because they seen it on TV. That's what's perceived as cool amongst us. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what peer pressure. And, you don't want to look like a victim. You want to be a bad boy because, you get respect, and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah. All right. Big up to Michael Metchop for a super sticker. I see you, my bro. Appreciate that. Big up Cheeky Banter. He says, again, I see why men are dating out. Ooh, that's ouch, bruv. Big up Daniel Karoma. He says, but by the way, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And he put grapes there and a fist up. Big up Daniel, yeah. Big up Trent Rawlins for the super chat. He didn't say nothing, but he put the $50 on there. Appreciate that, my brother. Big up T Money Official. He says, big up KingRichez. As an amateur boxer, I've experienced more masculine energy from black chicks than the crazy Russians I have to box. Mad. That is mad, bro. Big up, I don't know how to pronounce it. HX Nid. Yeah, for the super chat. And the second one, Hunid. Yeah, Hunid. My bad, bro. Sorry. Big up Hunid, yeah. He says, big up KingRichez. You inspired me to get the bag. Come on, my brother. What does
And
it
he
say
only
on my
paid you
t-shirt?
$2.49, honey. Come on now.
Yeah, actually, Hunid. I know. I see you did two. You did two super chats, but bro, you got the bag. Hey, you need to half that bag. You get me, and then half it again, and then boom, super chat, bro. You get me? All right, cool. Big up Fire Under the Bridge. He says, I'm the alpha in my mum basement. Any takers?
Oh, he put a £20 there.
Yeah, what,
All
Canadian.
right.
Canadian.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that. How much is that in pounds? Still, that's
It's
not
like £15.
That's not too bad. He did more than the 249 euros.
Hey, listen, why you getting onto him like that? He might come back and show you something, innit? Like, yeah. So what? No, what? You're not dealing with Mr. Alpha in the basement?
But the thing is, what does it mean that you live in a basement? Because that can be the insinuation that you're loser and you don't have like money to be out, or maybe you could be out down there.
We're just
whilst you're saving
asking,
to
are
buy a
you
house.
willing to take that opportunity?
Depends on what your situation is.
What about you?
Yeah, depends on the situation.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
we need to have some context.
Why are you in your mom's basement?
Oh yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, why are you in your mom's basement?
Maybe he's saving
How old
money.
How old are you?
Maybe he's saving money. Maybe he's gonna
Maybe.
take over the world.
Maybe, but you
Maybe
need to get
he's
out of there.
caring
Yeah,
for his
maybe
mom.
he's starting his
Huh?
own business.
Maybe
like-
he's
Okay.
caring for his
Fair
mom.
enough,
Maybe
but
he's
you need
looking
to
after
be
his
an
mom.
alpha outside your
Maybe
mom's
he might
basement.
even own the house.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be a possibility. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
curious.
I don't think that's
need
what he
more
was thinking,
context to
though.
the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh?
I need more context to the story.
Oh, okay.
And don't underestimate a guy in the basement, because you can be the woman that can say, baby, do you know what? You're so nice and I love you. And you empower
Then you can
him.
move into the basement.
No, you know sometimes. Sometimes all the guy needs is for a woman to love him for what he is, even in his loseryness, and then he will have the motivation to get like.
The question
back
is,
up
Danava,
more.
Hey,
is
I
will they
need to
love
get
us
them blue caps.
unconditionally?
Hey,
Will
you
they
know
love
what,
us
yeah?
when we get fat? That is the question.
Say that again.
Will they love us when we get fat? That
Don't
is the
get
question.
Why'd
So
you
we
have to get fat?
So we have to love you guys unconditionally, but you can't love us when we get fat.
I don't believe women love men unconditionally.
What do you
though.
mean?
You
That's
heard
your
what I said.
expectation. So
Huh?
what if he's
Oh,
living?
yeah?
Yeah. So what
Huh?
if she's living in your mom's basement?
What?
You were saying, so what if he was living in his mom's basement?
I never said so what. I just read the super chat.
Someone
fam.
said, so what? I don't know who.
Oh no, you're hearing things.
Maybe. It's time for bed.
You were looking for trouble, KingRichez. You know that.
Blood, I don't care.
It's his show. You know what I'm saying.
I don't care. Anyway, where we at? All right, big up Trent Rawlins. He's back again. Black women want the guy raised on survival, not love. A sophisticated hood dude, an anomaly. Ooh.
Oh, I'd love a sophisticated hoodlum.
But raised on love, not survival.
Yes.
Yeah, but if a guy is on this drilling and trapping, scamming, all of that kind of stuff, it is survival though.
How will he be?
He's on survival mode.
But how will he be willing? How will he know how to love me if he doesn't know? Like if he hasn't.
That's
been
what you
brought
should
up
ask
in-
yourself when you start dating them.
There you go. Like if you're.
What do you mean, there you go? That's what you should ask yourself when you date them.
I don't.
And make excuses.
Why
for
do you
them.
don't
keep
date that
insinuating
often.
that? we say
Because
today
she
was-
said she picked the scammer over the 9-to-5 guy. She said it. We could rewind it, bruv.
If I
I'll
love
probably-
the scammer, yeah, why not?
Yeah, there you go. I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just
Why
saying
you
ask
hating on the
yourself.
scammer?
I'm not hating
And
on
then-
no one. I don't need to
The
hate
9
on no
to
one. I
5
don't
is probably
care.
depressed and miserable. Actually,
Could be.
Say that again.
the 9 to 5 may be
I put it
depressed
on
and
her.
miserable.
Not that one. The other one.
Why are you looking for my trouble?
What did you say?
I said I worked 9 to 5, and that was the most miserable time of my life, because a lot of the time you're working for peanuts for somebody that's making millions
modern
off
day
your back.
slavery.
You're 9 to 5, which means you need to get there even probably 8:30. A lot of the time you may have to commute, wear stiff ass clothes, have 1 hour break in a whole 8-hour day. Like ugh.
I don't agree with that.
Go on.
But you work for home.
Don't.
Yeah, okay, but I made my
don't-
way up. I started to work at McDonald's earning £5 an hour when I was 18 when I came to this country, and now I'm living my best life due to my 9 to 5.
Come on.
So I feel like it depends on the situation. I've been to jobs that I was a slave, but I feel like you work your way up.
And
so
And you know, and do you know why that's so mad that she said that? Because she's the white girl here.
What are you trying to say?
Well, it's kind of obvious what I'm trying to say.
That
Say it in
she's
It's kind of
words.
obvious what
Say
I'm
it
trying.
in words.
Don't you think it's kind of
Say it
obvious
in
what I'm trying to
words.
say?
Yes, definitely.
Ain't it
Say
kind
it
of
with your
obvious what I'm
chest
trying
in
to say?
words.
100%.
Bro, you lot
No,
said it
you're
for
saying,
yourself.
basically
No,
trying to
don't
say she's
change
more
what you're
stable
saying,
because she's
fam.
white.
Huh?
Are you trying to say that she's more stable because she's white?
No.
Say
How
it with
did-
your, say it with
Okay,
your
let
words.
me make
I
it
don't- I
very. Let me
didn't
put my phone
understand.
down for
Yeah,
this.
say it with your
Yeah,
words.
please be
Basically,
explicit.
yeah. Basically, so we're talking about 9 to 5s versus bad criminals, fast money, whatever. Yeah. And basically, you said you'd pick a scammer over 9 to 5. Then you was talking about how bad the 9 to 5 is. The lady in the middle didn't really say nothing, but we already know that she's been with the gangster boys. And then the lady on the end said, you know what? I don't agree. I made my way through working hard, being a slave. Yeah. Came to the country, 18, McDonald's, worked your way up. Now you're living your best life. And that's respectable. Do you get what I'm saying? That's not downgrading what you do for a living, but that is just stating the facts. And that's stating some of the things that black guys say about why they date out.
But-
Because there's a mentality amongst us no, bruv. There's a mentality in our community that we all know.
But maybe
Yeah.
she loves what she does for 9 to
No,
5.
No,
Some people
bruv,
don't
no,
love what they
no,
do
don't
for
start
9 to
throwing
5.
it in some imagination stuff. Let's go
It's
on
not
what's
even imagination.
She's
No,
a
go
woman.
off what she said. Go off what she said,
And
not what
she's
you
a
feel.
woman. She's a woman. I sent you a video
Oh
the other
my
day about broke
days.
guys, right? You make less money on a
Wow.
9 to 5 than you do if you're out there
Wait,
doing
wait,
a
wait,
more
wait.
flexible,
I'll let one of these other brothers talk.
a more
Go on.
flexible job
Why
working
do-
for yourself. I'd rather be an entrepreneur than to be working
That's
9
not
to 5
true.
to a point in my
Oh
life.
my
That
God.
I don't understand why.
For real.
I don't understand why black people think 9 to 5s aren't about making money. Every person that I know that works 9 to 5 making £300,000 a year. I don't understand that.
Is that in finance?
Well, in the U.S. too. So we
Okay.
get
Yeah.
and then also, man, dang, I forgot what the hell I was gonna say.
Sorry.
At the end of the day, they're tapped, bruv. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
you
just-
need to say.
Oh
It's
no,
tapped.
wait. Oh, I
It's
got
tapped,
it. I got
bruv.
it.
Like, it's tapped.
One more thing. I don't like in the black community we have this, oh, we don't like what we do. Oh, we need to find listen, the white folks and the Asian folks I know and me, I was getting destroyed. I was sleeping on a mat on the floor at Harvard getting destroyed, okay? In order to get that back, to be able to finish my training next year and make 40 hours a week, every weekend off, get home at 5 p.m., 300,000 pounds a year, okay? You have to work hard, and it's not going to be fun.
No
And
one's
you like
It
so
ain't
there-
gonna be fun,
It's not going
bruv.
to be fun.
I'm not talking about working
one's
hard.
saying,
I'm
yeah.
talking about the monotonous routine of
It's
being
gonna
in
be
a 9 to
monotonous.
There's
5.
gonna
It
be
is.
monotonous
It's gonna be
routine,
terrible.
bro.
Yeah, but
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. A book I read.
I've worked both
Yo,
sides.
no. One verse, yeah. Let me tell you a book I read, but a book by 50 Cent. Yeah, he's the baddest bad boy in the flipping rap that you can think of. Power, all of these kind of things. Yeah, you would look at him as an entrepreneur, would you not?
Yes.
Yeah. Guess what he said in his book, Hustle Harder.
Yeah.
Monotonous repetition, bruv, is the key to success. Monotonous repetition.
When you're working for yourself, not when you're working for another
no,
person.
bruv, no. Why you
I'm
adding
sorry.
things? You didn't read the book and you're adding.
Yeah, but
What do you mean, yeah, but? You
You
did
can-
not read the book and you're adding in your own interpretation when I'm telling you
basically-
what was written down, bruv.
but you're basically
This is
a
mad,
clock.
bro.
You're
This is actually
basically-
mad what you lot are
But
doing,
that's
It's
bruv.
about
not
making
mad.
money. It's not about your actual happiness. I worked and that's why I said miserable. I didn't say broke. Right?
Let me just say something quick. You see this listen.
What?
You see this whole discussion here? This is showing how men think logically forward
Yes.
and women think emotionally forward. And neither are necessarily right or wrong because it's always tailored to your situation.
You was doing good and then you
No.
messed
I'll
up.
tell you why. Because you know, because
Logic
I
is always
no.
right.
But I'll tell you why. Because I believe in you got to work hard before you work smart. You can't just jump
Yes.
into
That's
working
true.
smart.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
Yeah.
that means you're going to have to go through the 9 to 5s and the daily routines and sacrifice. And maybe you're not going to have a certain amount at the end of this month, or you're not going to. But if you're self-investing and you're doing certain things with in order to get what you need, what you want, or where you need to be, that's where you can start accumulating.
Yeah, because this is the
working
thing.
smart.
I'm not saying that you should be a wage slave your whole life and just be in a rat race your whole life, but I'm saying do not talk down on this whole
100%.
9-to-5 thing, because guess what? Most of our parents did it. Most of your
I work a
grandparents
9 to
did it.
5.
And most people on this planet do it. So again, it goes back to that thinking of this top 10% of people out there and what they're doing. And yeah, you've got to be like them. Bro, like at the end of the day, most people are not going to ever reach that because it's not feasible for everyone to be balling.
Yeah.
It's not, bruv. So when you talk negative about all of this 9 to 5, it's actually ridiculous because most people are gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, but
No,
listen.
do you know what
There's
it is? Do you know
no
what
but,
it is,
bro.
yeah?
I
There
didn't
ain't
say
no
but. I
bro.
didn't say
You
but.
did
I said
say but.
I said
No, I'm not
listen.
either.
Listen.
My name's KingRichez. Remember that.
Senor Riches,
You're not Senor.
Senor
Say it properly.
Senor Miguel
say it
Riches.
properly. Say it
Miguel
properly.
Rico.
All right, we're gonna keep going with the super chats, blood. You can't say KingRichez properly, bro. All right, that was a good little discussion there. Where we at though? All right, big up to Cheeky Banter. Basically, if the world burns, how can I leech off of you? Ooh, that's
What does that mean?
He's basically saying when I said if it turned to Mad Max time, and how would you be able to survive?
Oh, do you want me to tell you?
No.
I'm great
Big up
at
Michael
building
Metro.
tools,
Big up Michael
traps.
Big up Michael Metro for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Big up Cheeky Banter for another super chat. He says, why is it that these super women serve on the front line? Why is it that these super women serve on the front line now?
Say that again.
Exactly.
So it's basically talking about in reference to, you know, going out and fighting wars. If you lot are so super and know it all and you've got because
Those
you're so
women-
smart. Yeah, because remember we was talking in that scenario. Oh, it doesn't matter if you're big because if you're small, then I can hide and we know how to hide. So if you're so smart and you have all the strategies down, why don't you go on the front line and fight? Why do they send people like me? Because, like, why? Why do you think that is?
Can I tell you?
Are you gonna say something
I'll
along the
tell you.
line of big and stupid or something?
If I would be very capable of being in a war, I would actually
course you
probably be the
Course you
one.
would.
I would be the captain. Yeah, I'd come with strategies. That's how I would survive. I'd use my brain. That's why I'm a leader. And then on the flip side, you're probably going forward more because maybe you're less valuable. Is that what it is? Do you reckon?
Moving on. Big up to Unique 79. Yeah, I would purge these three in the bedroom.
Definitely.
Yo, magic. I've got to read it. I've got to read it to myself first. Hold on.
He paid for the super chat. I want to hear this so I can cuss him.
All right. He said I would purge those three in the bedroom with complete domination, and they would absolutely love it. I'm keeping it real. Shout out to you, KingRichez. Let's keep your channel growing. Big up to.
All right, bad boy. How tall are you?
Quick point: there's 4 women and 3 guys.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't. I don't think he saw you. I put it on the young lady there so you can add her to the list. that one there.
Gonna put
On
you-
hey, blessing. That one there. Man. Come on, man. You gotta add her to the list, bro.
Hey.
So say yeah. That's right. Yeah, there's unique. There's 4. I hope you've got the Red Bull going, bruv. You better have the stamina, bruv. You get me? I suggest you eat pomegranate and blueberries, bruv. I suggest that, bruv. And that's all. I'm not giving you no more secrets, bruv. Anyway, big up to Brandon Montego Beats. He says, when you don't fit a certain mold in the community, especially in urban areas, you'll be overlooked. Yeah, we've basically gone over that, and you lot agree, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you agree, yeah?
Yeah.
You agree?
Sorry, what was the question again?
Okay. All right. The question was, well, it was a statement. When you don't fit a certain mold in the community, especially in urban areas, you'll be overlooked.
Yeah, as in like you don't fit.
Yeah, they don't look like me, basically.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway. All right. Big up Shake. Big up Shake 1906. In our community, responsible men with morals are a turn off. We are not exciting enough.
Where are these responsible men with morals? Where are they?
You don't meet black men that are responsible and with morals.
Men in general.
No, black men in general.
Black men. I've met a few responsible black men.
So why did you say where are they at then? If you've met them?
The male community. I don't see many of.
Where did you meet him?
School,
Yeah.
uni.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe like if you like go to church or something, you might find.
You might get finessed in
Maybe
church,
those-
blood.
I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, where do you think you meet? Like, if you want a decent black guy, yeah, that's not drilling and trapping. I know that hurts. I know it's difficult to kind of get out your programming, but if you wanted to settle down and you're like, nah, I've had enough of guys like KingRichez. I want a good boy.
Put yourself.
You don't even want a military guy like my boy there who's murking people. You want a good, clean cut boy, bruv. Yeah, man. Where do you think you would go, starting from you? And we're gonna end with you.
I don't think it works like that. Like, I'm not gonna go to a library to find the love of my life. Like,
where would you go then?
It's not where would I go. Like, it's like people. Like, for example, I've met people on nights out that are no criminals. They work 9 to 5. They earn 6 figures. So I
Shoreditch.
No, it's not Shoreditch. I rarely go out in Shoreditch. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, all these boxes, like, oh my God, we need to go to the library, we need to go to the church to find these guys. Like, no, these guys are out there. Like, these guys also go out.
So basically, what you're saying, they're not in any particular place. So you might as well just go to the club because you've met nice guys in.
No, it's not. Might as well go to the club. Like, they can be anywhere. It's not like we can't put them in a box. Like, oh, this guy is in the lab. He's in the, like, you know what I mean?
He's in the lab. Being put together in the lab.
No, he's in the lab working on something. Like, I don't think I won't go anywhere to find like the love of my life or my future husband. Like, the guys that have been in my life.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask everyone the same stuff. Yeah. All right. So, what do you look for in a guy physically? What are your what do you look for dating preferences? What are your preferences in dating? Like, black guy, but then what kind of black guy, like, looks wise?
Like thick, because like I'm not too slim.
What do you mean thick in
like
what way? What are you talking about?
Like a thick guy.
Bolo.
But it doesn't, I don't care. I don't care if you have muscle, if you have abs. Like, I'm not very...
Dad bod.
Like...
Just be strong.
Yeah, just be like thick.
Built.
Because like I'm not very slim, so like I don't want to be like next to like a very slim
you don't
guy.
Push him
like
over. You don't want to back it up and then. All right, cool. What about height?
As long as he's like the same as me, above, like.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not.
Oh, that's cute. Does he have to make how much money should he make a year? Do you reckon? Because you're doing well, innit? You're living your best life. That was your word.
Yeah, but he can earn less than me. Like, it's not about the money, because maybe he's working on something and in a few years he's going to earn more than me. So I feel like
hopefully
that money, like, as long as he's working hard towards something or like towards like his goals. Like, imagine if I date a broke guy right now because he's investing in his business and his business is going to blow in a few years' time. So it's not really like the money that he has at the moment, but his goals and what he's working towards.
So you don't mind paying for all the dates, yeah?
No.
Huh?
No.
I don't mind.
You sure? Hakkasan? Gauchos.
No, but I don't do that anyways. I'm not a person to go on dates and go to expensive restaurants. I don't mind to go to the chicken and chip shops if it's
okay.
You know. So I feel like it depends on who you are as well, because there's guys that they like to go to expensive restaurants, but I'm not that type of girl. So yeah, it depends on who you're dating.
Yeah, that's good still. All right, the Nalva. What have you got for us? Where do the women find? Where did the black? Where does all the respectable black women? Yeah. Like, where do they find good black guys so they don't have to date drillers? Yeah. And then after, yeah, I want to ask you, what kind of guys do you go for physically?
Cool. So I think that if you want, I think you need to turn yourself into the person that fits. That's the type of man you want. So, for example, a lot of some of the guys I met that I believe are, suitable bachelors and everything, a lot of them, I met them at uni, not because that you need to be educated, but it's a sort of mindset that you may have. So not all the time, but usually, at uni you meet like-minded people, you grow together and you create like a parallel mindset. No, but that was one of them. I've got a lot of friends from uni, a lot of guys that I think you'd be great husband material. That was one of the environments.
So why didn't you pick one of them then?
Because I had one of them, and the one that I did love, and he was my everything. I actually went back to Nigeria. I was an international student, which means things kind of like had to
He
drift
was a
out.
foreign export.
Yeah, and actually, I'll tell you something. International students, a lot of them are good men. Actually, they come from good backgrounds because they have to be able to come
afford
here
to be
and
here.
everything.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they tend to have like sometimes more functional homes and everything like that. Another place I would say is networking events is great because people that's searching for sort of knowledge. It's all about people that's searching for development.
All right,
and
whatever. All right, cool.
Bow.
So, what kind of guys do you like? What looks wise? What do you look for? Be honest.
Strong, big black man.
Strong, big black man. That's
Straight.
funny, bro. So, like, what? How tall are you, and how tall does the guy have to be?
I'm 5'6". I would ideally 6 foot plus. Reason being because that's usually how I feel protected by a man, not because he needs to really be that. My dad was a huge, big ass black man. He's the first person that I look to for protection and love and things like this. So I guess I've got a bit of a mirroring of that onto my ideal partner, I guess.
Okay. All right, moving on to young lady in the middle.
What was the first question?
All right, where should a woman find a good black man? No, actually, regardless of black or white, where should a woman find a good black man? And then I want to know, what are your dating preferences for a black man?
I think my answer to the question is, there's more good men traditionally, however, in what concept we're speaking and out there, than there is all these other men. So women just need to look within themselves and really do a 180 on their filtering system, on the type of guys they're going for, and change that. Because you'll see that, I think a lot of women think, I can't find anybody and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, it's not that you're not looking in the right places or whatever else it may be, but you're blinded. You're turning a blind eye to these people because you're looking for the wrong things in a particular type of man. So I think it's more within, look at yourself, look at what you want for yourself as a woman in your life, and then flip what you've been looking for or what you've been finding somewhat attractive in these men that haven't done nothing for you, and go out and look, and you'll see these men. They're here, they're everywhere. Like I said, I believe the majority are good men.
And
you're all agreeing, but you all said you would prefer the drug dealer and scammer over the good 9-to-5 guy.
Not even prefer, my boy. They've
done
done
it. No,
it. They've done it.
The girls either side of you are both nodding, just like to your point.
I agree.
We gotta start looking in within ourselves.
True,
I agree.
We gotta start looking within ourselves.
They say anything. But yeah, so all right, the preferences. How tall are you?
I'm 5'2", so I've never, and I'm a small babe. What can I do? As long as you're taller than me.
He's got to be 6'5".
No, child. I don't like a man that's way too tall, anyways, because
You're lucky
too
you're
much.
short, you know.
Thank you.
Makes it easier.
But also, I'm a boxing coach, so I come from a martial arts background.
Nice.
So I think a man that has some
She
sort
wants.
of...
This is another one that wants a thick guy.
It's not a thick guy, no.
You've got to be thick.
No.
You must be thick.
No.
You are not thick enough for me.
Just someone, no. I think just someone that is somewhat fit, someone that is somewhat active, someone that has some form of martial arts background for me would be...
So if the wall ends tomorrow, he got you as well, innit?
Huh?
So if the wall ends tomorrow, he's there.
They want you want to put each other in headlocks. They're like, look, babe, look at this headlock I learned. I can get out of it though.
Do you understand?
That's
It's
jokes.
crazy.
All right, cool. All right, Iman, what do you think about it?
I say probably you should look around your network or your circle, because like friends of friends would kind of be able to vet a person for you before you even having to do the dirty work, you know? So that's like a step forward. And then, I think, your circle, or maybe outside your circle by a bit. And you'll kind of have someone who could have similar interests to you, or like you could have someone who has similar morals to you. So it makes life a little bit easier. As for like the features that I find attractive, I like teeth. I have a weird thing for teeth. If
Teeth.
If he's got good, nice
Gold
set
teeth.
of teeth with a nice set of canines, that's nice.
Gold teeth.
Oh, he's got canine gold.
Okay,
What does
relax.
that look like?
And a nice back.
A nice back.
Can you
nice
imagine? Do you know
Yeah.
Back.
my
Yeah.
sister?
What?
spot that.
What do you mean, glutamus maximus?
Yes.
Not that gluteus maximus. I meant the back.
Actual back.
Oh,
Oh,
she's
back.
talking
I
about
like
that.
a man with a
She wants that. She wants that work.
strong, big black man. Means.
You've got to be thick. That's funny, bro. Hey, that's bad. All right, so you mean like a big back, like he's
like
done
a
pull-ups
big broad,
since he was 5. Yeah.
broad back.
One question for all three. Do you girls prefer guys
Four,
with muscles?
four.
Four, sorry. Or do you prefer a guy with like love handles, something to grab hold of?
C'est quoi?
Can you
What
repeat
was
that?
the
What was
first
the
option?
beginning
Do
of
you
it?
prefer a guy that's got muscles, like a muscly guy that goes to the gym,
Ripped,
or
ripped.
a guy with love handles, something that you can grab hold of, like a cuddly
Ripped.
bear?
I like a
I
cuddly
see-
person.
I
but
I think
it's
it was
all-
like
yeah.
a bit of meat, you
Yeah,
know.
something.
Yeah.
I like timber.
I like
What's
ripped.
that? What's timber?
Timber is like
Muscles.
timber.
Like muscles,
You
yeah.
don't
This
necessarily.
girl said timber.
You must be thick and timber.
Thick and timber, man. This is gonna be all over
Shopping
social
bag.
media now.
with a nice back.
Dating requirements. He's gotta be thick and timber. Mad. You lot are moving mad still. That's crazy. I'm gonna move to the. All right. Let me ask the guys. Yeah. Where do you think guys would find a good woman? Yeah, in your opinion, and what kind of woman do you like physically? Forget the mentals because we're guys and we look at them for their physical first. Yeah, we do. Yeah, go on.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah. Do you know what? 'Cause
Bomba.
To find one. To find one.
That's your agenda, you know.
That's
your agenda, you know.
Listen, that's where most people are meeting
Live your
girls,
truth,
you know what
bro.
I mean?
Live your truth.
That's
Do
where-
it. Do it. Live the movie, bro.
Because you see it, yeah, like you get a snapshot, you can look at the highlights, you can see what they look like from videos, and you can kind of make
in a way.
you can make a visual assumption of if they tick the boxes. You know what I mean?
Social media is
then you
fake.
can move from there.
It is,
Yeah.
Trust me, it is. I've been catfished plenty of times.
Trust.
Oh, you still sending stuff.
But I've learned from my mistakes to what to look out for. Do you know what I mean? So
Blood, when you get
got trained
catfish,
that.
when you get catfish, yeah, in your head it goes, bruh. You know what I mean? That's mad, bro. All right, my bro, what do you
Wait,
think about
what's
it?
his type?
Oh yeah, what? I ain't got
my
no type.
No, my type is just a gym girl, a girl that goes to the gym,
Come
looks after the body,
Come on,
pretty face,
come on.
clean, like.
Mhm. Hygiene.
Hygienic.
important. Very, very
Always
important.
got to
Like,
smell
look
nice.
hard, like a girl that just looks after themselves, innit? Like that self pride in your appearance. That I think that's number one.
Come on. Hey, that's very reasonable. I think that's
Good one.
You could end the show there. I'm joking, not yet. What do you think about it, Mike?
So, yeah, I was actually talking to Adam about this. I use LinkedIn, and so
Oh, that's
Oh,
smart
okay.
as well.
I use
Big
LinkedIn.
man thing.
So
Yeah.
like, I mean that's critical, right? Like I think even, you go, like, and they love that, right? Because the certain girls they want that their protection is, whoa, this guy, he was at the yard party at Harvard Business School, right? Everybody, like, listen, all my people, we drive foreigns, we drive Teslas, like we got
Come on.
money. So
Okay.
Listen to the
like literally,
oh.
I mean, look at my LinkedIn, So
Yeah.
that's number one, and then
Your LinkedIn's a flex, though.
if the
In your circles,
In
your
my
LinkedIn's a
circle,
flex.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So again, you couldn't, a lot of the guys in the library, like let's say Obama, right? Or even like the guys that have, like Italian cars, fast cars, they're in the library, but then they own the club afterwards, right? But anyway, like my type, she literally has to be between, I don't like 5'1", but between 5'2" and 5', let's say 3.
Come on.
And because
Specific.
yeah, that's specific because look, the physical attraction is important.
Done.
So you have to be fit. Like I like curvy girls too, but in terms of like the lady I want, she has to be fit. She has to be in the gym. She needs to have like breasts and butt. Like she needs to be curvy. And then women, like you need to provide the timber. But if she's smaller, then like if we do the do, and afterwards she's like, I feel vulnerable. I want to cuddle. She wants to cuddle with somebody that
He's bigger.
bigger than her.
Yeah.
So I agree. I
can
have no
understand.
argument. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can
That's
understand
why
that.
I say this advice to guys. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, my brother.
mhm.
Like bruh, at the end of the day, a lot of times, yeah, guys will say, "Oh, yeah, girls are saying that I need a guy bigger than me or whoever you are." Bro, go for girls that are smaller than you, bro. Like, don't, bruh. It's just that's just the way it is, bruh. Like, that's just the way it is. Anyway,
Can I ask you a question? Where do we
what do
find?
you want, man?
Where do we find the good, responsible
I don't
men,
know.
boys?
I don't know.
Where's your people at?
I don't know.
Where do I find more like you?
You can't.
Oh,
I'm just a hologram.
Find you at Pearls.
He's
Yeah.
blushing. He's actually
Yeah.
blushing right now.
He is
Yeah.
blushing. He's always blushing. Do you remember when I said to him he would be smiling on the show and he said, "I'll never smile." Now look at him. Look at his cheeks. Oh, baby. No,
Spoiled
Djibouti.
it. I was having a good time just now. Spoiled it.
Look, he's smiling again.
No, I'm not.
Look.
So I'm wincing. It's different. I'm wincing. It's pain.
Oh,
Anyway.
You didn't respond. It's your turn.
What?
yeah.
No, I'm the host. I don't have to answer
No, but we
questions.
want-
Come
we wanna
on,
know.
we all have.
What do you
Tell the man
what do you
then.
not
Go
want,
on.
man?
where
What
do you
not
find
want?
good women and what's your type?
Good women? On planet Earth. That's where you find them. Planet Earth.
Be
It's a
more
good place to
specific.
start.
Yeah, we need more specifics.
Help your band them. They need to know you're here coaching
Exactly.
them. Innit? Come on, be
Listen,
responsible.
okay, like put it like this, yeah. Dating apps is crap. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, you might get some easy beats though. Still, get me. Get me. Hinge has been good to me. Get POF when I was in America, that was good to me. Still, get me. But really, and truly, the best place or the best way to find girls or girlfriend is through your social circle. Really and truly, because then you can get the CV, you can get the resume, you can get the work history, you can get the references, bro. Because when you're out in the world and you're just dating randoms, yeah, like for instance, I'll keep it real. My last ex-girlfriend, the white and Asian thing, yeah, I met her at a train station. I'm just randomly at a train station. I saw her. She got off the train. I was like, right, she's buff. I'm moving to her. Like, because I don't wait in it. I'm just like, do you get what I'm saying? Shark, don't stop moving. Anyway, so boom, now, that was that. But at the same time, that's risky when you do them kind of things. Because if you don't know nothing about her, there's no connections, bruv, she could be the top headers in the ends, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? She could be a badders, bro. Like, she could be, bruv, doing corn, doing all kinds of things in her spare time just for fun, not even for peas, just for fun. And then now you're wifing up.
He's taking it to the extreme.
Not even for
No, but
peace, just for fun.
Yeah,
possibility.
just a pastime, bruv. Just a pastime. Hobbies. You get me? Just heading mans. But anyway,
Oh
so
my God, you are so vulgar.
it's mad.
amazing.
So it's really dangerous when you don't have no kind of connection to this girl. Like, and another one is that's a danger. Like, if the girl's moved away from where she grew up. So now you've met her in the different ends. No one knows her. So now it's like, oh, I got me a good one. Bruv, you don't know what the dirt she was doing back in the ends.
What she left behind.
What she left, the baggage that she left behind, bro.
She forgot about.
Like, she is notorious. You get me? Get me? So yeah, but I think really the social group is the best. Like, I think the best experiences I've had with girls has been like when I've met them through somebody that I trust. And then they've been like, nah, she's all right, bro. Like she's calm in it. And then like, yeah, cool. Then that's it. And then, you know, it is.
Okay, what's your type now?
What's my type? Good looking. There you go.
You don't have specifics?
He's just trying to be difficult.
Like, what
Look
is
at him.
this? What is this?
He
that
wants
I-
to play on the mysterious, dangerous bad boy. Okay, cool.
That's what you lot like, though. I'm playing the game. Come on.
Look at his face. No, this guy.
Anyway, back to the super chat. It's taking long. What is it? Where we at? Where we at though? Breathing heavy in that. All right. Big up Ray Carl. You ever notice men don't normally choose a woman who's breaking the law? Why is that? Men choose logically, plain and simple. That's very true. I would never. Would you ever?
Yeah,
let me ask
because
Listen,
as you
I'm not
said,
asking you lot.
because as you said, men want peace, so they don't
There
want
you-
a criminal.
Oh,
like-
what the women want?
They don't want
Chaos.
Yeah, we want
Women want
adventure.
chaos, bruv.
We want
Hey, put that on
problems.
me, bruv. I'm glad you said that because men want peace, and what do women want?
Problem.
Problem. But wahala. You get me? That's what women want. Drama so that they can talk about it with their friends. Oh, you will never believe what Jerome did. Yeah, Jerome.
Drama
bruv.
and gossip.
That's
That's
what
it.
I'm
I don't
saying.
know. What kind of crimes do girls even commit?
They can commit crimes.
stealing from hair shops and shit.
Oh, that's dead. Why would you even wifey?
Because
I wouldn't wifey a criminal. That's that. A petty
hey, some
thief.
some ratchet girls are hot, you know. Don't, bruh. Some girls in the hood are hot, bro. Like, you get me? They're just ratchet, and bruh, they'll just bring drama and confusion to your life. But anyway, what was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask the guys something.
Would they date a girl that's criminal?
Yeah, would you date a girl with a felon? What is it? A convict? She's an ex-convict.
There's just no upside.
Huh?
There's just no upside. It's just, what's the point?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what is the point? I get it where women do it because obviously they love money.
What?
So the criminals that they want are getting the fast money. So that's what attracts them in the first place. Like, girls don't want broke criminals. If you're a criminal and you're still stressed out and struggling and you can't even afford chicken and chips to take your girl, like, the girls don't want that. They want the criminals that are making money because the girls love money.
Okay. What do you think?
But then for a man, you're the provider, so you don't really need to go for a girl that's doing dumbness.
Yeah,
you know what
I think you.
What if
I
she's
think
robbing
guys.
banks?
I think guys know that. Like, if she's doing badness, she's a headache. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want that, bro. Like, what do you think, bro?
I mean, I can kind of see it because, you know, like, and not to get into any personal experiences, but I mean, it could be fun and it could be exciting if you're not trying to commit to someone and they're like, you know, they're like doing drugs and LSD, shrooms, like all that kind of stuff, and they're kind of like
go down the line, the periodic table of elements, bruv. But yeah,
like,
go on.
I mean, it could be fun and exciting, right? And so, I mean, but you're not gonna wife them up, right? You know, because you don't want drama, you don't want to get Me Too, especially that, and like you can't afford that. So, you know, you have your fun, you do your thing, and then you do move on.
Everybody watching, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yeah, this is the realist on. Yeah, bruh. This is just as real as it gets, bruh. I don't see no other YouTubers doing this kind of content, bruv, on this kind of vulgar level, bruv. Yeah, but still keeping it classy at the same time. You see the balance, because I'm a Libra. Yeah, the balance, fam.
Yes, check you out.
Feel me? Get me? See, I say some raw stuff. The girls may not like me, but they still love me out. This, you get me? But anyway, let's get back to this. Yeah, man, no convict chicks, bruv. That is long, bruv. That is long, bruv. Let me catch up. I keep losing it. Where was that? You see the basement one there.
Has he responded to what context? Like,
Yeah,
why is he?
I'd be interested.
Nah, not yet. Sorry. All right, cool. Big up Cheeky Banter. He says, so women with bad dating history want good men to overlook and trust them with their shaky dating credit. If her dating credit is below 700, don't deal with her. This is silly. I was young. Cap. Cool. He's going in on you lot, boy.
Now for this guy.
I'm confused.
He's
I know what
basically
he's
saying,
talking
why,
about.
if you've been throwing your box around with scammers, yeah,
That's not me.
why should a decent man overlook your past poor choices and date you, and saying I was young is not an excuse?
Yeah,
And he's
that's what
going at you
saying.
as well.
Yeah.
So will you look at no? Okay, what do you
What?
think about it?
That I was young was not an excuse.
Yeah, he's saying I was young, cap, because he's basically saying you knew
Can't
what you
use
was
that as an
doing.
excuse.
Yeah, you knew what you were doing. You wanted the excitement and danger of being with a guy like that.
Yeah, but I think it's only cap if it's repetitive behavior. I was in
Oh,
that.
you've got time. How old are you?
I'm 21.
You've got time, bruv.
For what, to repeat behavior?
Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm
She's
good.
a smart woman.
No,
She seems like
no.
a smart woman.
I'm good. I'm balled up. Everything's fine. We're cool over here. Do you understand? But it's
We'll see.
Oh.
yeah. No, we will see. We will
true,
see.
bruv.
We will see.
Time will tell, bruv.
It will. It really will. It really will. Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna bring you back here in on exactly this day
100%.
next year. We'll see.
Words.
bruv.
If I'm not married in a year.
All right, say nothing. Say nothing.
Oh, that's
We're rooting for you.
rough.
Words.
Get me, break the cycle. Anyways, all right. Fire Under the Bridge says women fall in love with proximity, and most of the men who approach them are bad boys. So average men and women will miss each other since they would never approach each other.
Interesting concept. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Go on then.
Like I agree with what he's saying. It's true because like everyone's looking for the extremes.
Mm.
What happens to the people in the middle ground? How do they meet? How do they interact?
the women in the middle ground still get men approaching them. The women do.
Yeah.
The men in the middle ground get overlooked.
Yeah.
Girls need to approach more. They don't do that enough. I think that's dead. And then 2, the average man needs to get a little bit of a 101 on game.
No, I think it's the ideal of like women are born of value, whereas men are to make their value. So like if a man is forever in the middle ground to the rest of society, he's not of value yet. Like there was a statistic that said 40% of high value men is like the bubble, and 80% of women go after the 40% of high value men. So it's kind of that.
It's
battle.
actually 80-20.
Or yeah, there you go, 20. That's even less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Denalva, you can take a back seat.
I
So
feel sorry
all right,
for
next
people, but I
one.
don't.
Next one. Big up Michael Metrop for the super sticker. Yeah, I appreciate that, my brother. Big up the UK Economist. Bao can taught the black community ever. How can the black community ever rebuild the stable family units if women keep choosing bad men? Good question.
Can I ask you a question?
No, you can answer that question though.
Well, we need to ask the question more. How can we, the black community, break this like curse if men are also not dealing with their traumas? A black man is a traumatized man that doesn't
Don't
speak
pick
about
a guy
it.
with trauma.
Can I
Most
just say,
black men have got trauma. We already said as a
Yeah,
black
but there's
person, you're
levels.
born with trauma.
Yeah, but everybody's got trauma. Everybody, even the people that are goodies and geeks and nerds and lames and whatever, they got trauma as well. But they didn't necessarily go out there and be bad men. Like,
Yeah, but also-
I don't
also-
subscribe to that trauma stuff because at the end of the day, everyone's got their shit. Do you know what I mean?
that's
true.
what.
100,
It's
yeah.
it becomes your responsibility to deal with it.
But in response to that, let's not like men are the leaders at the end of the day. So if less men are doing all of this stuff, it will give it will bring down the amount of women that are going to go for these men because in traditional in traditional households, like a man is the leader. So if you're the husband and
We're
you're
not.
leading
We're
and
not
doing all of
traditional.
that,
The society's
I
not
don't know,
traditional.
bro.
No more.
Plus-
yeah,
So
but
that's
that
it.
doesn't make no sense.
Yeah,
though.
but we all agreed when I said that if women made a general consensus that we're not gonna date criminals no more, the rate of criminals would drop, and you agreed to that.
Yeah,
so
but-
that actually pertains to exactly what he asked.
But that doesn't minimize temptation.
Yeah,
What?
but it's accountability.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you. Accountability.
You're failing to that. Like a lot of women just don't want to be accountable for their
No,
choices.
men should be accountable
women,
for
like-
being bad men, bad boys.
But you don't have
Yeah,
to
but you don't have
pick
to
You
them.
choose bad.
It's true. You don't have to pick
Women
them.
don't
have
You
to
know,
pick
it's true. You
them.
don't have to pick them.
But
Like,
why
you're gonna
don't you?
do that.
Why don't you like comprehend this thing?
Like-
You do not have a gun to your head saying you must date criminals or else I'm gonna
No,
blow
it's
your
true.
brains
It's
out,
true.
bruv.
That is true.
I hear
You're
that.
an adult, bruv. Listen, you're an adult, bruv. You're not 5. You're not 10. You're not 12. You're not 15, bruv.
And
Yeah.
this
So-
goes back to
Like,
like
come on.
80% of women going for the 20% of men. So you lot are choosing.
There
It's
you
true.
go. And
It's
then
true.
your
And
excuses.
that 20% you got people that are on a straight and narrow getting their bread, and you got a lot of people that are getting their bread illegally. Do you know what I mean?
And
You lot
at
are
the end of the
choosing
day,
those men.
your rebuttal to when we say stop choosing bad men, stop choosing criminals, and your rebuttal is, but these men want to be criminals. That doesn't even make sense, bruv.
Like I think
Come on, bruv. Like that is a weak rebuttal. That is weak. That is super
I
weak.
think black women
Oh,
like
man.
it bothers me so much because black women make the worst decisions when it comes to men. They want to pick men that they need to build. They want to pick men that aren't making the money. It's like, look, in my circles, the women, they're looking for executors. You come in and you're set. They don't make these concessions for men. Like, you guys are absolutely gorgeous. You can get a man today.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you could get a man today that has the Oxford to Cambridge, has the broad shoulders, has everything that you want. You guys are women. So you don't have to compromise for those things. So just, like, and listen, I'm telling you, those women, they do that. If they don't make under... If they make under 200,000, they won't even talk to them because they know they can get a guy that makes that, is buff, is tall, right? Why don't black women believe in themselves that they can actually pull these men?
I would say this. I would. I do agree with you to an extent of like having certain standards and certain qualities, but at the same time, when you start bringing in, the man has to make X amount of money, that's where it starts going a bit shaky, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? Because then it kind of lends to the fact of, some of these criminals are making a lot of money though. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me personally, it's more of a thing of, yes, you want a guy that he has his finances in order and has some ambition and has a plan of where he's going in life, and it's a legitimate plan, but also he has a high moral compass as well.
Yeah.
That's of paramount importance, because that's what he's going to teach his children. You can have as much money as you want in the world, but be a crap father and be a crap role model because you're just materialistic and just all you care about is money.
Right.
So
Yes.
that's why I say, like, when I get what you're saying though, like,
And
you know,
you're right.
have
Absolutely.
yeah, like we're both right, like, but it's just that we have to be careful when we make it too much about money, because I tell you now, I always say on my channel, any woman that is hyper materialistic is not wifey material, bruv. Because guess what, anything can happen, especially in this economy. You could lose it all, bruv. And guess what, if your woman is like, if you ain't got 200,000, I ain't talking to you, bruv, she's gone, bruv. And that can happen to anyone, bruv. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's more about your morals, your culture, your identity. What do you value in life? What is important to you? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Who are you? What's your essence? What can you even teach the woman something?
Yeah, that's important.
Can she learn
That's so
something?
important.
You turn me on when you speak like
listen,
this.
I don't need the ad libs. Yeah.
That's so important.
Yes. Preach. KingRichez.
Hey,
Preach.
listen, this is KingRichez. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button. Yeah, you
Like
get me.
it.
Like, listen, I don't just say these things to upset the women. Let the women are ad libbing as well, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so like, boom, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe to the thing, because it's real out there, man. Get me. All right, big up to Tan for the super chat. He's asking all the right questions. Men, learn how to vet like this. None of them are wife, even if joking. Good women don't think or joke like this. Learn how to poo test.
Now relax.
I beg Tan.
Sit down.
He sent for all of you.
Sit
in
down,
one
Tan.
He
one
sent
sweep.
$9.99 instead of 10.
Yeah.
Red flag.
That's funny. Yeah, you might as well have made it 10, my guy. I feel you. Big up cheeky banter. These women that say they want a good man are cap. They are willing to choose men who break the law instead of the man who is moving on principle and morals. This 9-to-5 guy is a man of duty and principle.
I'm sorry, but the people who have put in the laws don't have morality or principle in mind when some laws, yes, but a lot of the time it's to kind of move their own agenda forward to get more prisoners into the system so they can have more of a workforce. It's a lot more kind of deeper.
Do you think they should
You said
legalize?
you want scammers though. And
Yeah, should they
is wrong
legalize
every
fraud?
aspect.
I said never say never.
Should we legalize fraud?
We shouldn't legalize fraud, because in that case, someone else is getting the shorter end of the stick.
Then your guy's gonna go jail, bro.
But if
what do
he's
you
got-
want? Which one do you want? Do you want him out?
I'm
or
not
do you
going to
want
go
him
into
in?
detail with this right now on live.
But it's a mentality.
On live
I think
TV.
it's a mindset thing. I feel like it's a sense of like risk that in like adventure, in that sense. I think that's what makes it more attractive.
Danger.
Because that means that actually, as a man, if you have a like indication of that sort of feeling, if it's one of the moments where it's fight or flight, you're gonna do well because you're already used to taking risks, to doing things that are out of the ordinary. I think like the norm and conformity actually feels a little bit like unattractive.
You haven't
sometimes.
got to do illegal shit to take risks though.
No, but I'm saying
Like-
when you compare 9 to 5 and a
Hey,
scammer, I
listen,
think
you
that's
know,
what's
you
going
know
on.
forex trading, yeah. I don't know
Like,
any of you done forex trading, bruv. That's adrenaline, bruv.
And that's not 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Bruh,
I mean,
yeah,
you can,
but-
you can work 9 to 5.
Yeah, a lot of people actually do it 9 to 5. You
trade.
actually can.
Oh, okay, so let's define. Are you
Most
talking about
people
9
do.
to 5 as in having a job?
A 9 to 5, as you sit down every single day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, bruv. You have set hours of your work, bruv.
But then he logs into his trading account and he's
And he's at his
gambling
2
a lot of
computers,
money.
bruv, and phone glued. You cannot pull him away. He's looking at that trade, bruv. He's looking at them pips, bruv.
I don't consider that a 9 to 5. That's not a 9 to 5 job actually.
Okay. Okay.
Because you're not working for somebody, you're working for yourself.
Yeah, that's different.
No, well, we're talking about someone that's got a 9 to 5, but then just trades his own money on the side.
Oh, but then still, he's not a 9 to 5er because having his thing on the side already means that he's got a different mentality.
Still got a 9 to 5
At the end
job,
of the
though.
day,
Yeah, but he's using it as a tool to get him somewhere else.
so basically 9 to 5 is the devil. Okay.
Yes.
But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, look, you can get that adrenaline rush buying and selling, bruv, on the forex, bruv.
Yeah, that's not
on the
9 to
US
5.
30 and gold, bruv. Adrenaline, bruv.
That's
You'll be sweating,
entrepreneurship.
bruv. When it goes the other way, you'll be sweating, bruv.
That's
Trust me.
self-employment.
Huh?
That's basically self-employment. You're working for yourself. You're an investor, basically.
Man, you'll lose it for yourself as well. Anyway, next one. Big up to Cheeky Banter. Oh no. Big up to Latador. Latador. Dior. Loving your job is a privilege that is earned after years of sweat. Less than 5% of people just fall into that situation by luck or first try. Absolutely, bro.
Definitely.
Absolutely, bro. Big up Cheeky Banter. Again, I see why guys are dating out. Damn.
That's rude.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who is
Why?
he talking about?
Yeah.
He's talking about what he's hearing in the live stream.
And like dating out of what?
Dating.
Out of
Well,
their-
I'm assuming he's a black guy since the stream is about black guys dating interracially.
And he's complaining about who?
He's not complaining. He's saying, I see why guys are dating out. That's not a complaint. That's just a statement.
Oh, right. I was questioning the statement, but I got it now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to read with understanding. You get me? Anyway, so Unique 79. KingRichez, by what I have heard, I would wife up the woman sitting by herself on the left. The three on the sofa would be side chicks, depending on how generous I would be. Get me smoking a cigarette with sunglasses, bruv.
Why are we
Hey,
always
put it
the
on
villains
there,
on this
leave
couch?
it on there, leave it on there, leave it on
Why
there.
are we always the
Leave it on
villains
there.
on this couch? Come on.
And she's getting red. She's getting red.
She's a wife.
Yes, just getting moved to in super chats. Come on,
And he gave a £10 for you, you know.
there you go,
Better
man.
than $9.99.
That's what I was saying. You got the extra penny.
Big up.
bruv.
Big up.
Hey,
Your
trust
husband
me,
material.
you got to
still.
round it up, man. You get me. But anyway, big up Cheeky Banter for super chat. So the Portuguese woman was the most has the most reasonable standards, works hard, and don't want to date criminals. Are we seeing a pattern? Laughing faces, bruv. Hey, what do you not say to that though?
I would say maybe it's... Well, I'm not going to make it about race anyway.
Huh?
I was going to make it about race.
Don't be salty. No, don't make salty comments, because the thing is, what he's saying, you can't really rebut what he's saying though. If we base it on what you've said, I'm not saying, and I don't even really think he's trying to be horrible, because he put laughing faces,
Yeah.
I think that if we just go on what has been said by you three and by this lady here, it kind of lends to what the issues are. Do you get what I'm saying?
Are you saying we're toxic?
And
Is that what you're saying? Are you calling us toxic?
I put the camera on me, my brother. You get me? So I was very, eloquent with my words, very diplomatic with my words, very straightforward with my words, but somehow the word toxic came into play. And I find that to be astonishing at this point.
Explain, please.
At this juncture.
Please elaborate.
Because at the end of the day, what I was saying was very straightforward. So why would you think, or why would you feel, because I know it's feeling, why would you feel like
That's sexist.
toxic? That's not toxic.
That's sexist.
How's that? How?
How could you think I was moved like... Never mind. Okay.
But by the way, I'm not gonna lie. I will own it. I will own it. I don't want no goody two shoes. No way. I would love a man to deal with jungle justice a bit more. Think outside the lines of justice, because the law changes from country to country. The law is there to a lot of the time
You're
keep
only
you in a
in one
certain
country
box.
at a time.
Blood.
You're only at one country at a time.
I'm just
What the
saying.
hell?
All I'm saying is that actually, I would like to be with somebody that can rebel against the system, because that's the only way.
He's
you're
not
gonna
going
do
to
it.
last long, bruv.
But that's
No,
not,
bruv.
I'm telling you, it's not about him being a criminal. It's about the mindset.
It's not just him about being,
Bruh,
being a
that
scam.
guy is not.
Scam. I can't
listen,
speak no more.
You see
I need to
when
shut up.
like listen, one voice, yeah. You see when you lot talk like that, do you understand, yeah, that guys a lot of time are heavily influenced by what is perceived that girls want. So when you say stuff, I want a guy that's gonna work by jungle justice, bruv. This ain't Tarzan, bruv. What are you talking about, bruv? You live in a first world country. Yeah, where there's laws and regulations, and if you don't abide by the law, you probably will end up incarcerated.
Me no want no black British man then.
No, but
it doesn't matter if there's loads of yardies in jail and there's loads of freshies in jail. So what are you talking about, bro?
I think I just want. I think I want a man that is above this normal general.
No. And another aspect of this is also when you are doing these kind of illegal activities, you'll end up accumulating a lot of ops. And if bruv, these days people don't fist fight.
Yeah.
They're trying to end you straight away. They'll run in your house and try and end you, and whoever else is in there. So you better hope you're not in there having your thug loving session, bruv, because you'll get murked as well, bruv. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. It's like some of the ways you talk is like you don't. Like, obviously, I don't know your full background of what, but the way you talk is very romanticized about something that's very real, bro. Like, as a person that I've been in things and I've been stabbed before and I've been in places where I shouldn't be and I've rushed people and I've done things I shouldn't have done, I understand the deepness of how deep it gets, bro. So when girls who don't really live that life and don't really have to get their hands dirty talk about, I want a guy that is gonna do jungle justice, bruv, that's very dangerous. Yeah. And I know that you don't mean harm by it, but it is dangerous. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So you have to, bruh, and it's serious, bro.
I would say I think a man that stays too much in that box and is like, because the comparison of 9 to 5 to scammers, we already know what the insinuation is, and he's not as like literal. That's what I'm going for, because you give me a 9 to 5 and a scammer, I in that situation, that's now I say a scammer for the fact that risk taker, thinking outside the box, adventure in comparison to the 9 to 5. That's why.
What would you prefer to anything I've said?
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying that I'm talking entrepreneur.
No, but look, I think I
see what I mean. That's the difference.
I really think
I don't see.
I really think you guys get this 9 to 5 wrong, and I really feel like this is holding women back, right? Because you start out at McDonald's. Oh, sorry. Like you start out at McDonald's, you do your thing, you go to college, you go to school, you work a 9 to 5, you work at an investment bank, but guess what? Because you got the clout, you could work remotely. So I can go to anywhere I want in the world and work remotely and make my money because I worked at 9 to 5. And guess what? So now you can get the car that you want. You can get buff. And I agree, a jungle man is great. But guess what? I can afford to go to the best gym and get buff, right?
Have a PT as well. Like
you know what I'm saying? Have a physical therapist. So it's like, you're right. I feel like, yeah, you want all those things, but you're looking for it in the wrong areas. Like the 9 to 5 is the bedrock that builds the principle. So guess what? Now they can do the entrepreneur. Now they can like do whatever they want.
But this is why I say we're living in a time where everybody wants everything instantly. We're not like, a lot of women nowadays aren't here to build and have that longevity, and unfortunately they don't have that patience to ride it out with you up until that point. That's why we're, as women, a lot of us are looking in the wrong areas, because they're just thinking, oh, this person has this. Okay, you fit what I like, and da. Not to say that I'm personally like that or any of the ladies are personally like that, but it is what it is nowadays. People want things instantly. They want quick money. They want to live the lifestyle, but they're not thinking ahead. They're not thinking that all of this stuff don't last. This could all be taken away tomorrow. Instead of sitting down, finding a partner you want to build life with, you want to build a legacy with, and then get there and live your dream life forever in 10 years.
Again, I hope that you keep this mentality, because you know you done the bad boy thing. So you're talking a good game.
Serve you. Well, look at you now.
Hey, listen.
Thank you.
But it's been long though, like being ignorant and stupid.
Yeah, but
that's how I described all that time up to now was just ignorance and stupidness, bro. And
did they not teach you a lot,
the niggerish things, traits are still lingering. They linger. Do you get what I'm saying? Because once it's like, bruv, you've been programmed to be one thing your whole life. Bro, it's very easy to get pulled back. Like you lot, as man, you know that. Like it's something can just pull you back. You can have a road rage moment or whatever. So, I don't know. Someone messes up your money or something like that. Bro, it can come back very easy. So Like, I'm not trying to act like I'm something I'm not, bruv. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's real like that. But anyway, let me try and get through these. Let me run through these. All right, Robert Watkins, big up for the super chat, my bro. He says, been a piece since watching. Love the new look. Appreciate that, fam. Big up Riz Howard for the super chat. I appreciate that, my bro. Big up NSX for the super chat. Great show today, guys. Appreciate you, my bro. Big up T Money Official. What's the girls at in the middle asking for a friend?
With £2, my friend. T Money on top of that.
Oh, yes, just T Money, bruv. Come on.
On 2 squids.
They're gonna
Not
say
even a
they're
fiver.
gonna say their Instagrams and their cash apps at the end, bruv. Don't worry, bruv. You get me?
My Cash App is
You gotta
easy.
give back to the community. You get me? Anyway. The UK Economist, to your guest in the middle, Haram. Oh, damn.
Oh, UK Economist, why are you spending all money on here instead of to just say rubbish? Don't you have something better to do?
Hey, let's leave them alone, man.
Okay,
leave my
no, keep
audience
investing.
alone.
Keep investing. My bad.
Leave my audience
Like,
alone.
share, subscribe, and give 5
No,
next
listen,
time, not
man.
2.
Hey, you get me? They can't all be scammers, bruv, and jungle men.
She says an economist, so
Get me?
makes
She wants
sense.
she
The
wants
£2.
She wants Tarzan, some rich Tarzan, bruv. Anyway, big up to Son Diakita, bruv. Whatever, bruv. Rebel against the system. That is Andrew Tate. Okay, cool. Big up Andrew Tate. Anyway, top G's. Yikes, bruv. All right, do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to round it off because this has been an excellent show and I don't want these lot to start talking rubbish. So I'm going to end the show, yeah? Cool. And then we're going to do the final 4. What have you learned? Because I hope you lot have learned something, especially you 3. I hope you've learned something, yeah? And listen, again, this is not trying to be horrible to any group in any particular way. Like, I'm just keeping it real, innit? Yeah? And I feel like this podcast here, my one in particular, is... from what I've seen out there, is one of the most balanced with while still keeping the integrity of being real and saying what I think and letting people say what they think without it turning into some circus. Do you get what I'm saying? Because from now on, when people come on and they try to do circus antics and try to act stupid, they're going to get thrown out, bruv. That's how it's going to be. So if you jump on, just know what time it is, bruv. Like, you get me? The man's not no little guy, bruv. You will get thrown out, bro. Like, you get me? But anyway, boom. Final thoughts, and you can do your Instagram @ where people can find you, all of that, starting from the scammer's wife. I mean, Iman. Go on.
You can find me at @chocolate high on Instagram, as well as Neptunian.Nubian. And very interesting perspectives today. I'm trying to keep an open mind to all of them. And just because I would give a scammer a chance does not necessarily mean I would go for a scammer. This is a disclaimer. But I wouldn't judge a person based on their past or whatever the case is. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you for educating me, all of you guys.
It's been a pleasure to educate. That's what we're here to do. Next.
Okay, official Miriam on Instagram. I also have a platform, guys. It's a podcast called Conscious Conversations. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever the weather. Go over, give me feedback, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Check out the social media. And yeah, I just appreciate the conversation. I don't know if this was on camera earlier, but I said I've never been on a platform with so many women and having so many different female perspectives on a topic like this. So it's something that I appreciate. But yeah.
It was lit, innit? It was lit.
It was a vibe.
That's what I'm saying,
It's
man.
always a vibe.
It's KingRichez, yeah? It's KingRichez, bruv. I'm looking good on that camera, man. That's like 4K business. Anyway, next.
Wow. Hi, guys. It's Denalva. I didn't look for too much trouble. I tried a little bit just to let you all know there's value in everybody. 9 to 5, scam or whatever it is. Until you see your value, no one else will. So, boys, girls, love yourselves and be happy. Denalva.ao.
I put it back on there again.
Denalva.ao. DINALVA.ao. Instagram.
What? No
Yeah,
cash
that's
apps.
Or Cashapp is my first name dot my last name. Denalva Tavares. Denalva dot.
Bruv, you're saying that too fast. Let's move.
Slow it down. Like this
Oh my
quick
God.
ads on the radio. You know what I say? There you go.
Mad thing. All right. You Portuguese at the end. You're gonna get bare follows.
I didn't even want to say my Instagram because I don't want that clout. But do I need to?
No, you don't have to. I mean,
No, I just wanted to say it was nice to be here. As I said in the beginning, it was my first podcast. So yeah, it's nice to like discuss this type of topics.
Tell them to follow me if they want to see.
Follow my friend in Alpha.
Follow me if you want to see her. She
Oh,
goes
no.
on my gram.
Anti-man.
Okay, everyone is gonna see me if you. Sorry, if you follow the Nava, everyone's gonna see me.
mad thing.
Because we're always together.
Mad thing. Party girls and that. Anyway, so boom. At the back.
Yes.
Beard gang.
Yes. So if any of you lot are struggling with your beards, if your beard's patchy, you need it to connect, find me on Instagram, Beard Gang members. Got all the tips, advice, and products you need to get your beard right. In terms of learning anything, didn't really learn much today. Kind of just reaffirmed everything that I already thought about women. So yeah, we move.
Hey, that was real. Hey, listen, bruv, I am clean as a whistle, bro. I need some. Bruv.
Yeah, I'll hook you
Hey,
up.
you
I'll
girls,
bring some next
do you think I need to grow a beard? Real talk.
No.
I don't know how I'd look with a beard, man. I'm
Yeah,
not
I need to
sure.
see how you'd look with a beard.
No,
I'll get
don't
a fake.
hide.
I'm gonna get some fake.
Do you lot prefer beards or not?
I
Yeah.
don't think he needs a
You
beard
do?
because it's
Yeah.
got a strong jawline. Your beard would hide it, and you got dimples, which makes it cute. And you got nice cheekbones.
You know what? Your beard just goes along your jawline. So if you got a strong jawline already, the beard will just enhance it.
Man's gonna look
No.
like. Man will look like.
Trust me.
A
I'm the
black.
Yeah, how can you be saying no? I'm the beard expert.
No, but
Man's gonna look like a.
his face will be too big.
Man's gonna look like a black desperate Dan, bro. And I wear this kind of hat as well. That's bait.
Yeah.
That'll be mad. Anyway, my boy Mike, what you saying, bro?
Yeah, I think Black women are beautiful and precious, and however, they need to express better judgment and be a better judge of character. And we're critical and tough with you all because we love you, and we know, and because we're men, and we know how toxic and I don't want to use toxic. I don't like that word, but we know how men can be, and so we want to protect you by being tough, by being critical.
Oh,
That's
That
love,
tough
you know.
love.
Love. I like that, Doctor. You're the best.
Hey, that was real, you know. That was real.
Yeah.
That was, bruv.
You know what it's like, so you're trying to help us by telling us the truth.
Nah, that's real. That is real, you know. Like, hey, listen, all the black women watching, I know there's a lot of black women watching that saw the thumbnail, probably got mad, bruv. Saw the title, got mad, bruv. Yeah. But watching it, you see it's not that we're not ops. Like, black men are not ops. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, we have ops everywhere, bro. Like, we need to understand we're not ops to each other. And I think it's just like what somebody else said, because I used to preach this a lot on my channel before. It don't matter if you're Jamaican, Nigerian, Ghanaian, you're Eritrean, South African, whatever, you know, Algerian, Egyptian. It don't matter, bro. At the end of the day, yeah, even as just people, as human beings, bruv. Yeah, everyone needs to just respect each other and respect themselves, innit? Like, do you get what I'm saying? And, you know, if there are negative stereotypes that upset you, steer clear of those negative stereotypes and do not support those, and do not, like, put that out there, and don't, you know, feed that energy. It's a simple thing. Listen, it's KingRichez again, the one and only, yeah, obviously. Come on, you see what it is, man. Hey, you lot make me look good on the camera still, you know. Hey, big up to my producer, Blessing, though, man. Get me. Big up to my producer, Blessing. You get me? He don't want to be seen, though. I'm going to bring you out. One day I'm going to drag you out that seat and just throw you in front of the camera, bruv, and be like, yeah, this is the guy, bruv. But yeah, flipping, yeah, please hit the like button. Please leave a decent comment. You know, if you lot write some mad comments, they're just not going to make it. They just won't be seen. So write things that actually make sense, that are logical, and not just trying to be spiteful. Anyway, with that being said, love, peace, salute. Watch out for more